Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Saturday morning, ready to do some feedback. Find us everywhere you find you find the podcast, the Blackout Tips. iTunes, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart. We're just everywhere. We're out here. We even on Patreon, man. And shout out to y'all that are joining the Patreon. It's slowly but surely growing. Patreon people get everything except the archives, meaning like they don't get anything before we started the Patreon.
Right.
But everything going forward, there's 2 levels. There's just a tip where you get 1 bonus episode a week. Could be anything behind the paywall. Could be a movie review. Could be the pregame. Could be Balls Deep. Could be the Nerd Off. Could be lip smacking good. It could be anything. And also, if you're like, man, I'm not sure I want to sign up. I don't want to pay that $5 a month. Individual episodes are even for sale over there for $5. So you could go over there and be like, let me just pay $5 and listen to just the Nerd Off. That's the only thing I want to hear. Just this one movie review. But we got 36 members that are paying over there. We got 104 people that signed up, just even as like free in total. This, I think like once a month I'm gonna do a just completely free show behind the paywall over there. So like once a month, just being a free member on Patreon, you'll get something. I don't know what it'll be. Could be movie, could be Balls Deep, could be pregame, could be Nerd Off, could be Lip Smacking Good, could be anything. But whatever it is, y'all will get something every once in a while just for signing up. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow that space over there. And you can always sign up for premium just at theblackouttips.com/premium.
And if you do that, you get all the
archives, the RSS feeds that go all the way back to the beginning and all that stuff. So you get all that stuff too. And you can always go to the website and listen as well. The official weapon of the show is
folding chair,
and the unofficial sport
bullet ball.
And bullet ball extreme.
I had to stop myself. My mom was like, taser.
Yeah, listen, it's crazy out here. I get you. Of course, there are many ways to do feedback. You guys can check out the links to in the show notes. That gives you our website, our YouTube, our
phone number
for the voicemail. It gives you everything basically. So if you're like, man, how do I leave feedback for these guys? That's how. And we're going to get into the people that did leave feedback this week and the things I had to say. Another thing I did want to add too, speaking of premium, we've been working over there. Like, so y'all got a lot of stuff in the premium feed this week, even though that we only did like 3 shows. I did a bunch of spoiled movie reviews, and we of course did pregame and Balls Deep Sports. So you got Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Infinity Castle review.
We did that one together.
Our anime fans who go out to the movies, we saw that and gave a review. I get a solo review of Highest to Lowest, which is on Apple TV.
Yeah.
You can check that out. Thursday Murder Club, I did a review of that on which is on Netflix. War of the Worlds, the 1953 version. Karen and I did a review late last night of the 1953 classic War of the Worlds.
I had never seen it.
Based off of H.G. Wells' novel. And I think you guys will be interested to hear what we had to say. We were given 2025 points of view. And then also we did a review of Ni Jia, which is a Chinese animated film from 2019 that the sequel came out this year. And I don't think we've got a chance to see it yet. It might be out the theater, but point being, we've been working. So anytime you're like, man, if I spend this $5, $15 with them, if I spend $100 over the course of a year, if I spend $150 over the course of a year, am I going to get my money's worth? Fuck yes. We work hard over here. That's not counting guest appearances on other shows, none of that stuff. Just stuff that you get exclusively behind the paywall. Okay, now let's talk about feedback and all this stuff. There were people who left us money. Okay, they said, listen, it's hard out here. Okay, we see people getting fired for their takes on Charlie Kirk.
We sure do.
Okay, we see what's happening. They don't want freedom of speech for real, not for everybody. Now they understand cancel culture and freedom of consequence. But what keeps us here able to talk our black ass opinions and just be ourselves and never have to pander or cater or worry about tempering our words in a way that's just gonna, it's you. It's the people that do that premium. It's the people that just donate money. Go to the blackouttips.com, look on the right hand side of the website, and you can donate one time, recurring times, whatever. You can donate that money and we give you a shout out.
We do.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's Own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tie to the Black Guy Who Tips.
Today's a new day.
New diamonds and pearls. New hey girl. Tiffany V. I don't know how I keep coming up with
That's
new ones.
hilarious.
There's got to be some. I'm sure I've repeated it a few times, but
That's
honestly,
fine.
It's
I
crazy.
Don't care.
There's someone's writing these down. This is crazy. Alfonso M. YRD Design. Palmetto Stone Magic. David C. Kyle K. Jasmine J. James C. Bambi. Dr. Professor Bambi. Who wrote a book called Laughing Mad that we're featured in, guys. Just letting you guys know. Jason F. Falcons Diva. Ken M. Derek LW. Probably the brother of 3LW. Where them sisters at? Okay.
Right. Yeah, that's
I'm missing them. Thank y'all, everyone who took the time out to donate to this week's of shows. All right. We actually got 3 new 5-star reviews. I'm telling y'all.
Go. 3.
All I had to do was threaten y'all with commercials. Y'all came through.
And people was like, somebody was like, I'm going to be sure I leave at least one every week because we don't want no commercials. Shout out to y'all.
I don't know if y'all are coordinating this. I don't know if y'all motherfuckers are like, y'all somewhere in the Reddit or somewhere like.
Yes, in the threads.
Y'all in that Discord chat being like, whose week is it? We ain't getting no extra ads, but damn, y'all are motherfucking doing that shit, man.
And I love it.
Yeah. All right. 3 new ones. Listen, because Rod and Karen are hot. This is from Jerry Chillin, who says, y'all are great. I listen to y'all while I do my workout. Did you know there was a black abolitionist that is Dr. Umar's great uncle that was married to a white woman? Oh, how the tables turn. LOL. Y'all are a cool uncle and auntie. 10 out of 10. Recommend every segment, especially politics till we get mad. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
And no, I did not know Dr. Umar had a snow bunny in his lineage,
right?
As he would call it.
As those are his words.
I know they were swirling on his side. Not the king of consciousness. He's not 100% black African DNA. Anyway. Update. This one is from DJ something else, and they have their old review at the top, and at the bottom they have the update. Man, I've been listening to and being premium subscriber for the Blackout Tips for well over 10 years now, and I'm just leaving a 5-star review. What's up with that? Just got an iPhone. That's what's up. Anyway, far and away best podcast out there. Don't try to debate me. My oldest child, 21, was riding with me, and my 4-year-old, the mini Karen, oh no, impressionist. I was playing the pod, of course. She said, y'all still listen? You still listen to this? I remember them from when I was in elementary school.
Oh.
Anyway, I thought that was cute and wanted to share. Not to deify y'all or make it weird, but y'all do great work and appreciate the genuine content.
We just been doing this for a long time.
I would say keep it up. Ain't no quitting, y'all, and that's why we love you. P.S. You can leave this out from feedback if you like. Do you think you'll be able to? Oh yeah, we did. That was a long time ago, and apparently no, that did not happen. Update. Yep, still the best podcast there is. I'll 5-star you guys as much as they allow. Oh yeah, by the way, PUWGM is now my favorite segment. PUWGM. What is politics until we get mad? Oh, okay. Man, I didn't even know our own acronym.
Me, I was like PUWGM.
I was thinking that was one of them black things, like pick up your toys before you get moved. I don't know. Still my favorite podcast. This one's from Langston H, who says, anytime someone asks me what podcast I'm listening to, the Blackout Test is my first response. This has been my favorite podcast since 2014. Oh my God. That's 11 years ago, y'all. It's wild to think I've been listening over 10 years. Rod and Karen have this ability to remind me to turn down the social media noise and focus on what's real. I look forward to every episode. You got to check out their premium shows too. The Nerd Off is my personal favorite. Thank you.
Yay!
We appreciate that, Langston. You know?
And I done came a long way. I'm an official nerd. When Nerd Off first started, I rejected the whole concept.
Karen wasn't even a nerd when we first started. That's how far we've come.
We've came a long way.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can get right into the shows. No commercials. 3154, I'm going to quit you, but not today, was our feedback episode. We had 7 comments. Appia says, I agree about the Democrats with Rod and his strong brain. All the talk about who will be the candidate in 3 years now is a distraction. Yes. And you know what? This kind of a sad I was right. But I'm going to play it because, I do love being right. But even when, I don't. Anyway, here we go.
Rob was right. Yep, Rob was right. Rob was right. Rob was right. Yep, Rob was right. Yeah, Rob was right. Whoop, what was that again? Oh, yeah, Rob was right. Rod was right.
So Charlie Kirk got killed in front of a bunch of white people in Utah at a college campus, got assassinated by what appears to be a person who was even more right-wing than Charlie Kirk and was in part of this group of people that thought he wasn't right-wing enough. And he was a fan of like Nick Fuentes, who is like, virulently racist, and I'd say like openly virulently racist. And I think Charlie Kirk was like virulently racist in a more acceptable public way. He's not going to say the N-word in public, but Nick Fuentes absolutely brings that energy. Anyway, they was, the left wing did this, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, it turns out there was some right on right violence, some white supremacists on white supremacist violence.
Which is what most people thought.
Well, no, I don't think so.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you may have thought that, but I think the general narrative was, before they even knew who the shooter was, it was, we need to tone down the rhetoric on the left and the right. It's everybody's fault. It's the Democrats. They shouldn't be calling people Nazis.
Now y'all understand. Now you got compassion. Word.
Yeah, I actually saw Talking Point USA, his organization, posted, comedy has consequences. And I said, I'd love to do a search for what y'all thought about Dave Chappelle's anti-trans jokes. I'm sure it was just jokes then. But anyway, that's not my point. My point is, this man dies. I think many of us were not mourning him. Many of us keeping the same energy he kept about us when he was alive. And I won't be like bullied into having to pretend that this guy was a good person just because he got killed.
Right.
It doesn't mean that anybody that we're celebrating his death, doesn't mean we're co-signing his death, doesn't mean we're encouraging violence. Just but we can be like, yeah, I don't think so. But Gavin Newsom, who we've talked about, he did a podcast episode with Charlie Kirk a while ago. We talked, and that was before he made his pivot to sassy tweeting, like, I'm talking shit about all y'all. And and I think this is important. Some people are going to trivialize it, but I think it's important because this is my point about playing to Twitter. Because he's been playing to Twitter for over 2 months now. And I remember one of the things he got into was talking shit about Stephen Miller, who's a white supremacist who's in charge of a lot of things in the government. Right, he's an advisor to Trump, and a lot of these racist policies on immigration and law enforcement and stuff is literally him. It's his blueprint, Project 2025 shit. And so Gavin Newsom talks shit about him on Twitter. He's fuck this guy, he's a cuck, blah blah blah, whatever. That's why he white fucking Elon type shit. And people was applauding it because they're like, this is what we need on the left. We need that nasty talk, that shit. And I was reticent at the time because I was like, politicians playing at Twitter is a losing game just because Twitter don't really vote. Twitter is a silo, meaning they'll encourage you to say something that doesn't play well with America, but it plays well on Twitter. Meanwhile, half these motherfuckers, when it's time to vote for you, are still gonna be like, you're not good enough. So I never, and it's not a Gavin Newsom thing. I felt the same way when it was AOC.
Right, they don't have to deal with any of the consequences of the shit that you say.
I'm consistent on this. I know people think it will work. I don't believe it will. Maybe I'm wrong.
Me either.
I'm open to being wrong. And the day that Gavin Newsom takes office, I'll be like, well, shit, I guess I was wrong. You can play Twitter for 3-4 years and if you play it right, you can win the presidency. But I don't think you can. That's just my opinion. Anyway, so he posts about this after Newsom dies, saying that it was reprehensible.
After Newsom died?
I mean, Kirk.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk died. The attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, violent, reprehensible. In the United States of America, we must reject political violence in every form. I don't think anything is really controversial about it. And
in your position, I could see you not trying to funny you having to say a statement like that.
I don't even think that he's wrong in that. I think that's the tone that you would want a president or a presidential candidate to set in America. You don't want him celebrating it. Now, could he have just said nothing? Probably, but I'm sure they're in his mentions and there's some pressure on him to say something. And once again, I believe he had Charlie Kirk on his podcast. So like this was Gavin Newsom's, this was his guy that he would attempt to have a conversation to bridge this divide over. Now, what's their conversation going to really be about? It's going to probably end up with Gavin Newsom doing a lot of, these trans people are, kind of a problem. And we shouldn't really be fighting about that. But Charlie Kirk is like, these trans people basically shouldn't exist. They're mentally ill and blah, blah. So I don't like it because I can't trust a politician who will do that. I don't think they should do that. I actually don't think that's a winning strategy.
No, I don't like it because somebody like me, bitch, you planted in my motherfucking face. Right. Like as far as I'm concerned, and like I said, I don't have a problem with you having a podcast. I don't have a problem with you out here trying to be the pop star of Twitter. I don't have a problem with that. The problem that I have is, bitch, run shit, do motherfucking policies. I want results, and you pressing the on mic and speaking into that thing to these races and these white supremacists instead of going around your big ass state and inviting Democrats on your big ass platform and say, hey, this is the senator or the governor or whatever, the mayor or whatever from this town. Their election is coming up. This is like do your civic duty, because other than that, you're wasting my motherfucking time. Educate the public. That's also your job too.
Yeah. So all of that to say, he caught hell from the same people that have been enthusiastic and very impressed by his trolling of Trump and Republicans, showing this, even if you want to just say fair, this rising above, this isn't when they go low, I go to hell. This was a I go higher situation. It is, he's now taking a lot of flack for that. And this is my point. This is what I'm saying, why I say I was right. You can't play Twitter for 4 years. Like his strategy of I'm going to navigate this for 3 to 4 years is, you can play it, but you just going to have to take some L's. We'll see if he comes back, bounces back. But there's a lot of people he lost with this who are like, well, then why are you even talking shit about Stephen Miller? Like, why? So, Stephen Miller's policies are Charlie Kirk's policies. They're Charlie Kirk's beliefs are Stephen Miller's policies. There's to us, there's a zero-sum game. You don't play around with this. You don't capitulate to this. You don't make it seem like it's even. You don't,
right? Because it's not.
Yeah, because he says the best way to honor Charlie's memory is to continue his work. Engage with each other across ideology through spirited discourse. In a democracy, ideas are tested through words and good faith debate, never through violence.
But he didn't. So what are we talking about here? That's the end of the discussion. Everything he said was anti everything that you tell me that you represent in the Democratic Party. Like, this is a problem. Like if you want to run for president in the country on the Democratic side, where black folks vote for you, and we've seen the things that he said, and particularly black women talking about how stupid we are, and you think that we're going to vote for you, you got something else coming. And that's the thing. You be doing shit and saying shit to tantalize and entice these white people, but these white people ain't never gonna vote for you. They never gonna come to your side, like never.
That's the thing I keep wondering is, and for those who think like he set the right tone, he did the right thing. I let's take a step back cynically as strategists politically. Can y'all tell me whose vote he gained with this?
Right, you satisfying nobody.
I just would like to know, for y'all that think this was just the right thing to do, I think the right thing to do is to stand up for trans kids, but he don't do that. So now we when it's trans kids, we political strategists, we savvy. But when it's actually like some real shit like this, where I think is a moral stance as well, now we're back to, hey, it's just got to say the right thing. There's not a right thing to hear. I think that gains them votes. I don't think you have Charlie Kirk sympathizers who are now open to Gavin Newsom as president. I don't think this is going to work. Like I said, I could be wrong. Maybe y'all see a change in these people out here, but I've seen the people who are Kirk fans and the things they're saying. They're not, thank you, Gavin Newsom. They're not, you're right, discourse is the most important thing. That's not what they're doing. And honestly, it was a sleight of hand with Charlie Kirk. Discourse was not his point. Trolling was his point.
Right.
Disguised as a conversation. But this man never relented, gave an inch. It was a dunking booth. It was essentially a man walking around with a kick me sign on, and someone finally did it. And I don't applaud that, but I mean, it's, if you don't look both ways when you cross the street, I'm like, you're gonna get hit by a car eventually. And that says a lot about the content economy, a lot about what it takes to be an influencer on the right over there. Like, and he's not alone. Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, all of them are doing the similar things of just being public assholes to people and being like, this is debate, this is politics. Give me a trans person, I want to make them feel bad in their face. Give me a black person, I want to say something racist but not call them the N-word. And there's people out there like Chris Pratt and others who privately were supporters and fans of this guy, but his death being so public, it shocked them out of the privateness, and now they're, openly being like, oh, bless his family, play for him as a father, as a Christian, which to me is also a red flag, because you're bringing up father and a Christian because you don't want to bring up what his beliefs are. You don't say, like, you don't want to say, like, I agree with his beliefs on black people and on women and on trans people, and
right.
You don't want, so what you say is, I don't always agree on everything, but just pray for him. Well, what do you agree on? Let's talk about it. Remember, y'all want open debate. What happened to free speech? Y'all, why are y'all trying to get everybody fired that didn't like them?
Right.
Like, it's not free. The speech ain't free no more. Now you doxing people. So yeah, it's kind of interesting what's happening right now. But yeah, all that to say, Appia, this idea that Gavin Newsom is going to even be the candidate in 3 years is still a long shot, because
yes, it is.
And it's not just him. I'd say it of all the candidates.
Mm-hmm.
We're just such a far way out in such an attention-starved, short attention span economy. I don't know that you stay the focal point for this long, even if you're just doing a pale imitation of Donald Trump on social media. I'm not even sure that there's a certain type of person that think they want that on the left. I'm not sure they do. I don't think they have the willpower for it.
They don't.
Because the thing about Donald Trump and anyone else, they'll stick by Donald Trump when he's wrong. Liberals will not. Liberal, progressive, Democrat people left-leaning people will not stick by Gavin Newsom through being wrong over and over and over again, even if it's just once in a while, like this, where he did 2-3 good months and now he had one moment of people being like, man, fuck you. A lot of these people don't come back. They're not loyalists in the way of like, well, that's what he said, leave him alone. There's gonna be some people like that. There's gonna be a lot of people that are also like, man, fuck him and fuck you. Whether you think it's fair or not, that is the side that he's navigating.
Yes, and it's also one of the things, like you say, it's a long time away. And so for me, maybe because I've been through enough elections and things like this, I don't care until they start getting on TV debating and we start narrowing the field down. Like let me know when it's time for me to cast my vote in North Carolina. Like I've gotten to the point, and I don't want to sound mean or cruel, but I've gotten to the point that everything else prior to me casting my vote is fucking pointless. I mean, I hate to be like this. It's motherfucking pointless. I'm listening. I'm paying attention.
Right.
But all the podcasts and being online and I don't give a fuck. Let me vote, make a decision, and then we can move on. Like everything prior to that is a waste of time. But I know a lot of people, like I said, you have political junkies, this is they jam, like this is they shit. I get it. I'm not that person, because to me it's exhausting, it's tiring. It gives you anxiety, it makes you mad, it makes you upset, it sends you down all these fucking roller coaster rides that's happening while you're seeing the world motherfucking burn. And instead of people standing up for that, you rather talk about shit that don't fucking matter or that's not going to matter for a fucking few years. Nobody knows who any of these, he might not even throw his hat in the ring. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the next few years. So until it's time to narrow this bullshit down, and maybe this is just me and how I feel, all these people that claim they wanted all this diversity, we gonna see how diverse this field gonna be.
Right.
We gonna see how many white men we gonna have. We gonna see how many LGBTQs gonna throw their hats in the rings this time. This is gonna be some white, stale ass motherfucking Wonder Wheat bread we getting ready to fucking get, and everybody gonna complain and be mad. But you know what? The populists told them that's what we wanted because we did not vote for Kamala Harris. We told them that. So what do you expect them to do when the public rejects diversity?
Well, I think it's interesting because that's 3 years from now, and I feel the same way about that I feel about Gavin Newsom. I don't know what the fuck people gonna be on in 3 years, Karen. I don't feel comfortable. Like, maybe diversity will be back. I don't know. Shit is going to keep getting worse is my point. So, like, all the predictions that we have, I don't know. That's why I'm not playing the game of this candidate is in the lead right now. This one is I don't know. 3 years from now, people might be like, fuck it, man. Kamala Harris, fuck it. It's been so bad. She was right about everything. I don't know what we was tripping. 3 years from now, they might be, it's got to be Joe Biden again. I really don't know.
Right.
I really, truly do not know. And I also, as you kind of pointed out, and I don't mean this in I don't care about humanity or politics, so I won't be following it. I mean, I don't care. Right. Whoever it is that's not Trump, I'm voting for.
Agreed.
And it's not me that needs to get with it. It's everyone else.
Right. Everybody else has excuses.
Do you remember that Donald Trump didn't even participate in the Republican candidate show and was the candidate in the end anyway? I do remember that. Didn't even do the primary debates. We don't know what will happen in 3 years. Maybe the aliens I'm awaiting anyway will come and cancel the election and start a mighty alien mother as president in this case. Long live the next president. A bunch of numbers. As least this way, we will have the first American female president. Ramsey D. Jenkins says 5 stars because in a world filled with disinformation, lies, and boo-boo, ride a care and allow the community to have fun and laugh at the bullshit. Shoe Booty says, thanks for the community you've curated. It really matters and makes a difference. There's a distinction between needing to be in an echo chamber of like-minded folks and hearing voices of kindness, humor, and intelligence speaking truth to what is actually happening all around us. And y'all continue to be a touch point of staying grounded in this wild world. Thank you. That means a lot to me, and especially because I don't think, I mean, obviously anything you listen to all the time with the same people becomes somewhat of an echo chamber. Like, I'm not fucking crazy. I know that certain opinions y'all can mostly depend on us to share. But I think through being transparent about how we arrived here, I think through being open-minded to considering other things, and through y'all's feedback, I feel like we do a pretty good job of at least staying on point or being considerate of things. And I think one of the sad parts about, you know, the Charlie Kirk community and the people around it is how closed-minded they are. You know, how just, you know, and it's not just him, it's all that conservative talk. It's just so closed-minded. You know, you have decided vaccines aren't good because you just feel that way. Right. And there's never going to be any evidence or anything that will change your mind because you just decided. It's vibes, it's feelings. Even this idea that Charlie Kirk was a great person who, you know, was a beautiful Christian and the MLK of the right. it's just closed-mindedness masquerading as some sort of altruism, but it's just closed-mindedness. You decided because you like this man, nothing the fucked up that he said or did counts.
Nothing.
So yeah, anyway, I'm glad that this space isn't necessarily like those spaces. And, you know, sometimes I'm sure there's a lot of times people disagree with us about all kinds of things. I actually appreciate the amount of you who stop writing in to be like, I don't always agree, because honestly, who the fuck would ever agree with anybody for 20 hours a week?
Not right. Nobody.
Yeah, so that doesn't even make sense. So I appreciate y'all just accepting that this is a space where these are our opinions. We don't know everything. We don't pretend to know everything. But what we do know, we be knowing. Okay, I'm just saying. A few of us are in Discord, where I make sure to note the books you mentioned on the show. It's open to all fans of the show. So I just like to put the link here for anyone interested. And it's the Discord link. I'll put the link in the Crowdcast chat as well. I'll try to remember to put it in the show notes. Matter of fact, let me pull up my document, which I should already have open for the show. But let me pull that up. Yeah, Discord link. So people can look in this particular episode show notes. And if they would like to sign up for the Discord, they can go do that, because I'm sure
and
you
it's
guys
separate from me and Roderick.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are participating in that. And yeah, just understand, it ain't you, it's me. I'm not in the Discord. So, and it's not, it's nothing personal or whatever. I personally know my boundaries, and I don't want to be in there when we do have an episode that somebody don't like, and now I got to read all the comments.
Yeah, and it's better that it's fan ran anyway.
Yeah, so just letting y'all know, in case y'all like, I don't see Roddy Karen here. That's why.
Right, and you will not.
I do not want to be the most accessible nigga on the planet. Nope. I would like to have some moments where it's just me.
Ain't that the truth?
Dale Marvin says, just wanted to thank y'all for the wonderful remembrance of my friend Kokwe. I know she would have enjoyed hearing the kind words and genuine feelings. Thank you both for creating such a wonderful community that brings so many people together to laugh, cry, get our lives to Karen going off, and get mad at missing the obvious context clues and guess the race. You all are a bright spot in a very dark time, in a very dark place. Thank you. Love, peace, and soul to the Blackout Tips Nation. Thanks, Del Marvin.
Thank you.
Yeah, and a few people hit me up privately too, in like direct messages or emails that they didn't mean for us to read on the show. And I tried to reply, I replied to everybody and stuff. And yeah, man, Coke, we touched a lot of people.
Yes, they did.
She left memories with a lot of us for good. And yeah, man, it's just, she'll be missed. And I think this community and the Twib community and a lot of places that she touched, the reason you miss her is because she was such a beacon of light and such a fun person and an understanding person that also had like principles and was upfront with it. And she was an educator, period. Like I said, man, she was just an awesome person. And yeah, I'm glad we at least have a space to mourn her together. As a community. EVE says, I was so sad to learn of the passing of Kokwe. I only knew her through this podcast, but I remember her COVID episode, a couple other episodes she was on. I remember interacting with her in the chat room a few times. She was intelligent and seemed really sweet and funny. She touched so many people. Yep. Sean says, goodbye, Kokwe. You are missed. Keith says, I guess there's kind of an online community that exists parallel to or predates the Blackout Tips. And because my Twitter feed was curated for Black American-centric democratic politics, I followed or was mutuals with some people who were the Blackout Tips listeners before I discovered the podcast itself. Kokwe was one of those people. So when you said she was a literal day one, I thought, yeah, that checks out. She had a really sharp mind. And at some point during peak COVID time, she saw one of my tweets where I was venting about so many people falling for misinformation and just plain old bullshit with regard to the vaccines and the virus itself. How we ended up with RFK Jr. And she DM'd me to offer advice on things to show skeptics and the people I was venting about. My thought was, there's no way this is actually going to help me get through to them because the issue isn't a lack of credible information. But I also thought it was very admirable that she chose to spend her energy this way and hadn't given in to cynicism. Yeah, man. I mean, she was a scientist.
You're right. So she was like, what I'm not going to do is let y'all do this bullshit. This is what I have to do. Because, she would say like some of the stuff that she worked with, she was like, this shit is really, really scary, y'all. Like, hey, like this is not a game.
And she also wasn't about giving up.
Right.
That's why, like, it's that thing where maybe it was James Baldwin. I can't remember who said it, but somebody was like asking this person who was talking about how fucked up race and all this shit is in America can be. And it was like, have you given up hope? And the person was like, every day I wake up. So every day I wake up, I have hope. As long as I continue to do that, I'm gonna have hope. And
Same.
I think that's kind of the thing, I think that's why she was on my ass with that meta vote shit, because she was like, this sounds like you're giving up something.
Right.
And the other side never stops the intensity of their fight.
They are relentless.
Even when it's quiet, even when it's private, they are relentless, as you just said. And I think that message was so important, and I'll take it to the day I die, because she's right. You don't give up. You don't show weakness. You don't fold. I'd rather look like an example of that than the more popular thing, which is, banging on the Democrats, not holding Republicans to any real standards, always looking towards the perfect as if that is attainable, while the better is somehow not even wanted, right? That is something she taught me, and I, like I said, I've been embracing that for years, and I can't ever see that changing for me.
Agreed. And also, I think for me, when people go match their energy, I really truly do believe this. If you are willing to wait 50 years to reach your goal, so am I. If you are willing to do whatever it takes to take your country back, so am I. I live here too, bitch. If you want to say that you're angry, I'm mad too. Why do I have to be quiet? Why is only the Republicans' anger the only valid anger that matters? Why are their feelings the only feelings that matter, and anybody else's, I'm supposed to be quiet, I'm supposed to be walked over, I'm supposed to shut the fuck up, I'm not supposed to have any feelings, I'm supposed to say what they're doing is okay, I'm supposed to go talking violence, I'm supposed to, just act like this shit that I'm seeing does not matter. The hell I will. They're the ones out here spouting all this bullshit. They're the ones out here that want the fear. That's what they want. They want you to be quiet. They want you to give up hope. They want you to think it's hopeless. They want you to think that there's nothing else you can do, while the whole time they are fleecing you for all the power that you have. And I'm like, bitch, you will not. And so I've realized that for me, and on this platform, I will fight for the people that can't fight. I will fight for the people that have to work 8 jobs and overtime and Uber and all that shit. They go, I can't get off work to go vote. I will fight for your behalf. I will vote on your behalf, but and things like that, because I have the luxury and I have the ability to, because every time you raise your voice and you say something, you're not only speaking for yourself or your family, your friends, your loved ones. You're speaking for the voiceless. People don't realize that. When I say I'm mad and I'm angry, there are other people that are much worse situations than me that are being much more heavily impacted by the bullshit that's getting ready to come, that will drown way before I will. And so I'm like, no, I don't want to drown, and I don't want them to drown either. So as relentless as they are, I'm going to be just as relentless.
Yeah, I just think, we have to stay that way. We have to. And I think it doesn't mean you don't criticize. It doesn't mean you don't try to push for more change. But this idea of giving up is so intrinsic to the left. Is that, like, they just want to go home so bad when it just isn't going right. When you're down in the first quarter, they're like, what's the point of the rest of the game? And they think that's a function of the politicians. They think that's a function of a bunch of other shit that's not. But internally, that's the real truth. Your power comes internally. It comes from you refusing.
Yes.
And I think that's the lesson that I believe people on the left, not the politicians, people on the left refuse to take. They refuse to see that the real lesson of even what's happening with Charlie Kirk. This is a lesson to be learned here. They are refusing to acknowledge what this man was, because the myth and the narrative and the lie of what he was is much more powerful.
Right.
The myth and the lie of who killed him is more powerful than the truth. Right. For them. They before they found out who killed him, they were like, It's war. With the transgender people did this. Liberal ideology did
making
this.
up shit.
Leftists did this. We're gonna fight back, and there's gonna be more violence. You fucked with the wrong people. And then they found out it was one of them, a kid that was raised Republican. His parents were Republican. Only went to college for one semester, remote, not even in person, in Utah or whatever. Like, you know, white people's like territory. And turned out to be even more hard right than Charlie Kirk was. Thought Charlie Kirk was too soft. They have not said, well, now let's have a conversation. What they did is go, we need peace. So they did switch, because now they don't want to go to war with the other right or right wing people. They would like to recruit them. But most importantly, if you go to Fox News, it's still saying left wing people killed Charlie Kirk.
Of course.
Because that's the lesson. I'm not saying the lie is the lesson. The lesson on the left is, why the fuck are we ever giving in as if there's some sort of well-intentioned good exchange that's happening of ideas? It's what I don't like about Gavin Newsom having Charlie Kirk on.
Agreed.
It's what I don't like about it. It's because it pretends to act like there is some sort of good faith. And that's what they rely on. That's how the scorpion gets on your back to cross the bridge. It depends on you accepting a bit of the lie. No, Charlie Kirk's a good guy, and it's very important to know how he rose to prominence, and he genuinely believes these things, and maybe we can have an exchange of ideas that we can find a middle ground on. That's how they start getting you. But the truth is, what it's going to take, I believe, to get through this shit is some level of like refusal. It's honestly, and this, like, I know people, this is one of those roll your eyes moments, but I don't give a fuck. I truly believe this. It's Joe Biden stuttering at that debate and us going, yeah, I don't care.
Yes.
I don't care.
Yes.
Like, I get that you care, that bothers you. I mean, I'm on record. Karen's on record. We said this a million times. I'm not just bringing it up just to bring it up. I don't want to do.
No, I'm with you.
But that's the example,
right?
And y'all already know how we feel, so I won't elaborate more. But just
right. It's like you said. It's going to take a turnover at a crucial moment in a ball game, and people don't throw up their hands and pack their bags and go home.
Yeah.
Like
Donald Trump was just literally in public with half his face drooping.
Yes.
These were photos from the AP. These were Getty's photos. These were not Dr. AI photos. And half his face was drooping like he had a stroke or that Guillain-Barré syndrome or whatever it's called, right? You know what I saw? Zero of calls for him to resign.
Calls him to step down.
Calls for him, resign,
talking about he's incompetent.
Handed to JD Vance.
Where you at, podcast?
What, I didn't see a single call for, no one's interviewing sources deep inside the situation.
The camp to find out what's going on.
To get anonymous quotes.
None of that.
Pablo Torre's not on the case. Pablo, hop on this, man. We need this.
Nobody.
Like, no one wants to talk. It's not even a thing to be considered,
right?
And that's my point, because this is how you win. Motherfuckers don't want to accept that on our side, but that's the truth. The truth is, you look at Joe Biden fall off his bike and go, I don't know, still breathing, fuck out of here,
right?
See you in November, bitch.
I know it's so.
We'll run two corpses against each other if we have to, but I'm not backing down. That's the relentlessness they have over there.
Yes, they do. And is one of the things for me is, like I say, I'm going to match your energy. I'm going to have that same relentlessness. I don't need a perfect candidate. I don't need somebody that's going to check off all of my boxes. I just need for you to care, and I need for you to be out here advocating on other people's behalf. Like that's your job. To do that. And that's what I voted for, and the thing is, most people vote selfishly. Which I do too, because if you say brown people in this country, you say this country, and that's very hard for people in this country to understand, because if the black and brown people are able to survive, everybody's able to survive. If we're healthy and striving and out here growing and having our own businesses, you know what is also benefiting? Them farmers out there just getting ready to lose their land. You know who also is benefiting? Them places out there in Timbuk fucking nowhere. They're also benefiting. Their hospitals wouldn't be shut down and shit like this. Like, we all benefit from this, and we all need each other. So I'm voting for not only for my best interest, but for the best interest of the country. And so just like they think that they're voting for the best interest of the country, bitch, I do too. I want to be able to say, I want to take my country back. I want to be able to be proud to be an American. versus you looking around and you going, the fuck y'all doing? The rest of the world think we're a goddamn laughing stock.
She was a good egg, and it's sad she's no longer with us because the world needs more people with that mindset. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate the comments. On YouTube, we got how many comments on this episode? 19. Wow. Okay, 19 comments on this episode on YouTube. Let's see. What up, Ken, folks? St. Louis in this bitch. It's so depressing here. I'm glad the Blackout Tips is on. Thank you, Provocative AF. V. Neal says, I always enjoy watching your show. Keep up the good work. New Shoe 4x8 says, thank you for actually reading my comment on the air. It was a first for me. No problem. Happy anniversary. Thank you. Dr. Agan or Dr. Agan. Dark Namja says, on Liam Neeson, I caught your inside joke. Thanks, Dark Namja. It's always interesting when people write in and explain my own inside, my joke to me. I'm like, I think that's what I was doing. Let's see. Yeah, bro, there's a hype button that we can push. It gives y'all 1,000 points every time I push it. It helps y'all in the rankings on the podcast 1 to 100. So hit the hype button when you see it. Oh,
okay. I don't see the hype button. At least I don't.
Well, you're not on YouTube right now watching us. So how would you see it?
That's true too.
So this is only YouTube. Ramsey PH Dunn says you can only use the hype button via your cell phone. So you got to watch the YouTube on your cell phone to hit the hype button. So for y'all that watch us via YouTube.
Okay.
Provocative AF says, bar, spit that shit about Kamala and DNC Rod. That's really, bruh. Way to break it down. 100. Thanks, buddy. Kim Doc says, I love the new pay, new money, LOL. That's all time feedback staple. New pay, new money. Oh, okay. Oh, you talking about when I say the thing that changes every week.
Yes.
Kim Doc says, recipes to Coqui Negra. She would put spelling, but the heart, we get it. Sending comforting energy to her family. Wow. Rest in power, Coke. We heard to hear. I too have been listening for a long time, says Yoshi WPAZY or I too have been listening for a long time, back when Rod was a cubicle Negro calling in the Twib. I really
Not the cubicle Negro.
That's what Elon used to call me. Which he's like, how the fuck did this guy have a job? Which is how I found the Blackout Tips. Coqui Negra was one of those chat room voices like June from Harlem, yes, Chill, 8-Bit, Nick Jew, Professor LCH. So many others have kept me laughing and educated over the years. Grateful to have been heard her voice, and thank you guys for making that happen. Sure, this is all parasocial and whatnot, but it does matter. Nah, absolutely. And I think it's interesting because to protect my own like mental well-being, my brain does a trick where when you guys write in, it like the next week it resets to 0.
Same.
So I never expect to hear from anyone because I'm just trying to protect my brain so it won't feel like hurt or abandoned or lonely or sad whenever y'all don't write in or whenever you move on from the show, like, which is totally your right. We've all listened to all kinds of things and watched things, and sometimes you just move on.
Right.
And so I think my brain does that to protect itself so that I'm not constantly like, oh, nobody.
My brain resets too, like every episode of American Dad and Family Guy.
But yeah, sometimes moments like these, some of our live events, like places where we get to see people, sometimes you can step back and think about it. And it's like, yes, man, it's really been dope to be able to have all these people that fucked with the show for however long they fucked with it. And going all the way back to before we had a show.
Yeah, it used to be known as Rod in Charlotte.
Hugh says, great feedback show. Kim Doc says, apparently I can't hype y'all up again on YouTube since it's 3 per week limit for the hype button.
Okay.
Karen says, I keep seeing my hype points add up, but literally had no idea what it was for. I just been ignoring the notice. Damon says, true friendships thrive in the face of conflict. Shout out to all those that will tell you you're wrong because they love you. Yeah, I think that's a real thing. And it's not the same as the like asshole people who are like, I'm your friend because I say mean things to you because I just had to be honest. I could be honest or I could be lying. And it's like, no. Honesty doesn't have to be brutal and mean.
No, it doesn't.
So because
energy matters.
I feel like I'm honest with all of the friends and relationships in my life, and I don't feel like I have to come in there and cuss them out.
Ain't that the truth?
So, same thing with our podcast. Feedback is allowed. Talk to me nice.
Talk to me nice.
Talk to me
nice. Just like you want respect, I want respect too.
Yeah. So like, but like that was the thing. Cokie never. There's so many. There are so many people that when they don't like something or they disagree with something on the show or somewhere in life, I'm quitting the show. I'll never listen again. Fuck you. You're terrible. You're trash. You ain't never been funny.
It's like best friends, the worst enemy. There ain't nothing in between. Yes.
And especially something where people are adamant and they thought about it. I was adamant about that meta vote shit. I was like, I've thought about this. This is a through line that is logical and reasonable and it fits with the moment. And no, she talked me out of that shit and she was right. And the thing is, like, it does help to have a person that will admit when they're wrong. But
yes,
even if I would have never admitted I was wrong, it wasn't that she never put it as like this is like an ultimatum.
Right.
It was just like, I'm just trying to give you some game, young blood.
I'm planting the seed and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just trying to tell you as your big sister in this situation, this ain't it. And she was right, it wasn't it. And I honestly, that was when I started being like, oh, Cokie is really cool. It was before that she was cool and supportive, and that's nice, and I love support, but it was that moment that I was like, no, that's fair, and I actually appreciate you sticking to your guns.
Right.
Damien says 23 years of black love is such a beautiful thing. You guys remind me of that one photo of LeBron and D-Wade. Karen carelessly throwing up a subject because she knows she can depend on you, Rod, for a fantastic high-flying finish. Put that on the shirt.
Ain't that it? I do. I just be saying shit sometimes. That's hilarious. That and the shirts with the tanks.
Yeah, I need to commission both of those. That D-Wade alley-oop shirt, that's a pretty good one.
That's hilarious.
Red Lotus Diva says, rest in power, Cokie Negro. I remember her from Twib, listening to Molecules a couple of times. Yeah, she had a show called Molecules and shit. She was a ridiculously smart woman in the kindest spirit. Agreed, man. Agreed. All right. The poll was, should Rod and Karen keep responding to commenters who dislike their dynamic? This is an interesting result.
Okay.
83% said no. 17% said yes. And I wonder if that yes is more of a, we like when you go off and defend it and really get into the minutia of the show and
your relationship.
And like our relationship and how we talk to each other. Whether some may even agree with these people, but I would imagine that 17% is more like, we like the navel gazing of the show, discussing like and defending yourself. And right. I can see that. I'm gonna be honest, like there's podcasts I listen to where they get an unfair criticism and my ears perk up because I'm like, oh, they won't go in on this motherfucker. And I can see y'all. I think just for my own mental whatever, I would prefer not to even encourage these motherfuckers by responding, because I think what they're doing is so, we've addressed it so many times. I can't imagine that there's a thing that is going to change for them or us. Like, I can't imagine them be like, oh, you know what? Nah, I do see it. You're right. I do hate my wife. What the fuck? I've been hating her this whole time.
I want a divorce.
What's crazy? I was like, shut up inside.
Why am I here then?
Why am I even? I want to do the show completely by myself, only talking for 2 hours.
It is called The Black Guy Who Tips. Bitch, why are you here?
Right. Damn. You really put me on to something today. All right, y'all. Speaking of which, we got a new beat from DJ Jaffa that we're going to play for this break.
Yay.
Stopping you working.
Yes,
How's it coming along?
How did you write the others much? Noticed.
Just that you seem puzzled every now and again.
That's it, yes. Puzzled. Puzzled. It's a funny word.
All right, that took a little long to start. Next time I'm gonna skip 30 seconds in because I like when the drums hit it. But thank you, DJ Jaffa, for that new beat. Episode 3155, Be Well, Sis. Well, we had Cassandra Dunbar, Professor Cassandra Dunbar, on, the host of the Be Well Sis podcast. We got 4 comments on our website. Let's check them out. Abia says, great guest. After I understood what therapy was, I enjoyed it a lot. I had one therapist because luckily the first one was a great fit for me. I liked her and respected her. I went for depression prevention and to work on catastrophic thinking. During the therapy, I came to work on emotional eating and I don't do it anymore. I learned to use other tools for the inner tension I used to ease with emotional eating. Also, it was always great to tell her something that I thought was a catastrophe, and her not being impressed or at all or yelling, "This is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life," and running away. She didn't even run away once during our sessions. I'm not on social media a lot. I must admit, I cut way back. I realized that it made my mood go down because, of course, it wants me to be angry all the time. It really do. Like, it's crazy. I feel like I could do an experiment on this show right now. I'm logging into my Twitter. I'm looking at the For You page and seeing what the first.
Stay completely off of that page.
I know, I hear you, but I'm trying to make a point about what it would show me. I just want to see what it's going to show me.
Let's see what mine
it's Ben Simmons apparently, and everyone's mad at Ben Simmons because he's possibly retiring at 29 and he rejected a contract from the Knicks, and everyone knows he's not good anymore and he refused to work on his jump shot. So that's like a specific basketball type of anger for me to be like, what the fuck Ben Simmons. Let's see, Rian Wilson. Oh, well, that's an IGN. I do follow them. Let's see, what is, I don't even know what this one is. It's like a lot of writing.
Mine must be listening to me. Mine's talking about a Country Road Demon Slayer not in theaters.
You've trained yours.
Oh, mine is like kittens showing how gently they are around the baby.
Charlie Kirk shooting. Let's see, Charlie Kirk shooting. Tyreek Hill, which is another touch point of anger for sports people. He also just got accused of domestic violence by his ex-wife. Anyway, my point is like a picture, and especially the ones I don't follow that is showing me like this guy. If a Democrat was assassinated, could you imagine what would be going on right now? And it's a guy replying to that, and it's a screenshot of that, and someone going, "This facts." Point is, I'm supposed to see that retweeted,
right?
But I'm repeating it out of anger. Like, yeah. That's how I'm supposed to retweet it. Anyway, that was just a quick experiment. Also, it was always great telling something, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. She says, being here is probably the most internet thing I do. Yeah, Appy will come hang out in the chat and everything sometimes. And it's good. I love the community here and it feels safe. I will never forget how I was once targeted and people all were so nice and supportive to me here. It's a great community. That was a cool moment. Yeah, I remember that person left that voicemail or something.
Yeah, we ain't never hear from them again, did we?
Once again, dog.
That's one of them things. And y'all wonder why. I'm like, y'all don't ever come back. You don't ever explain yourself. You just come, open the door, throw a goddamn grenade, shut the door, and then leave and don't care nothing about the aftermath that you caused.
Yes. That's it. That's it. And exactly.
That's one reason why I have to ignore you.
They just throw a fucking grenade in the room. I think I could get with the idea of someone like having criticisms of the show that was like, involved listener or a person that has some level of relationship, or they will be back, or somebody
some form of engagement.
Yeah, or just even if just like 1 out of 10 times somebody came back and was like, "Oh, thank you, I didn't know that." 0, they never come back. You're right. I don't even remember that person that talked shit about Appia coming back. As far as I know, they've never listened to the show again.
Right.
We don't like, or they only chime in with something negative. Who knows? Evie says, enjoyed the guest. I'm reminded how important community is and how we need to lean on each other these days ahead. One good thing for me is that I've been reconnecting with old friends and family I haven't talked to in a while. Times like these make you realize what and who is really important in your life. Oh, absolutely, for sure. Speaking of the nosy neighbor, they can be irritating or a blessing and sometimes a little of both. I literally live next door to a Karen. Well, that's actually her name. The downside of being her next door neighbor is that she's in everybody's business and will talk your ear off. But the upside is she's in everybody's business and she knows all the neighborhood gossip. If I want to know the latest neighborhood, yeah, I ask her because she be knowing. Maybe it's the name Karen because they all seem to be knowing. Yeah, them Karens do be knowing. That's a good point. I heard they even have their own song.
Theme song, theme music.
Yeah. Now why is it not showing up?
Why is it not showing up?
Oh, there we go. Karen be knowing. Karen be knowing.
I was right about something.
Damn, this should be a shirt too. God, I'm getting all these shirt ideas today. All right. All right. Let's get to the next comment. Shoe Booty. Professor Dunbar was such a lovely guest. I'm going to have to go check out her podcast because her vibe is just 100% on point without any toxic positivity. Yeah, man. And I've listened to her show since, a few times since her people contacted us about her being on here because I always try to do my due diligence. And yeah, I like the vibe, man.
I do too.
I really do. My social media has been cut down so much and I only focus on engaging with things that actually feed my well-being. Staying mad all the time doesn't serve me. The news in the world is burning, but I don't have to read the comment section about it. The simple act of being outside helps a lot. I've seen some folks referring to their little walks as land snorkeling. Where they just
That's
walk
hilarious.
around and look at things, especially study their environment. Is cute. Yeah, I be on a mission. Like I try to stay walking, but then I take like maybe a 10-minute break halfway through and then turn around. But yeah, every once in a while I'll do some let me go look at these fish,
And birds and stuff. We see some
Yeah.
stalks and stuff. Storks. I'm sorry.
Storks.
The
blue heron.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, with the long legs.
Oh, don't get that name wrong.
My
Ooh,
bad.
Lord.
I didn't know what kind of stork.
Not for you, because some asshole on Twitter, when I was like, "Oh, what kind of bird is this?" They were like, "You don't know what blue heron?" It's like, suck my dick. Of course I don't know. Why the fuck would I be asking Twitter,
Why
bitch?
would I be asking?
I must have missed bird class that day.
I missed that class about the
Damn,
birds.
You can't just know something without being a dick about it.
Right.
You know what comment works just as well? It's a blue heron. That works just as well as without the condescension. Sean says, great guest and always great to hear about other podcasts. About the poll was, do you think social media has affected your mental health? About the poll, I've been off social media for almost a year and I don't miss it. I stay connected and interact with people I actually know, but I don't look at feeds or anything like that. Spending an hour on Instagram Reels and feeling like it would have been more satisfying to have spent that time staring at a wall, I realized it wasn't for me. I don't think I will ever go back. I can't blame you. I really, and I think for me, the bigger issue is not just that our algorithms are making us mad. It's when I realized how much of our algorithms were so specifically tailored to each of us.
Yes, everybody's getting a completely different experience.
And that is not how it used to be.
Nope. It used to be very collective. We all used to
It's very important. It's just
thing.
very important. It's very important, this distinction. Because there was a time where I could get off of Twitter, and our brain has not adjusted, by the way, but there was a time where I could get off of Twitter and say that experience that I had was most of what other people were having. And whatever happened there was a more universal experience. So there was a time when the trending topic was just the trend, whatever people were talking about.
Yes.
And then it started being curated and pushed. And you have this political ideology. Let's show you some people you agree with. Let's show you some people you disagree with. Let's show some people fighting. And it's gotten so specific now. Karen goes on hers and it's anime. I go on mine and sports and politics. Someone else here goes on theirs, it's gonna be food. But our brains not having truly adapted to this, when we talk to each other, we all talk like we're seeing the same thing still.
Yeah, and we're not.
And I noticed this with my friends, and these are my friends. These aren't assholes. These are my people I love dearly. And they're saying man, I saw one that was like, man, all these black people going up for Charlie Kirk. And I was like, what?
I did not see that.
I was like, what? How, what? No, black people are not going up for Charlie Kirk. And it's like a couple screenshots of a couple people. One of them turned out to be like a crazy black lady who's like a MAGA troll, like conservative person. So she ain't nobody.
Right.
Another one was just somebody with no followers, no retweets. But that's what their algorithm showed them, which makes you think, your brain goes, oh my God, black people love Charlie Kirk. What the fuck? He was racist. No, black people don't love Charlie Kirk. But my algorithm ain't showing me that. My algorithm is like, I don't. Black people love Drake. Whatever would make me mad. I don't know. Yeah. Black people love sugar grits. What the fuck? But they know that'll get me to stop scrolling. Anyway,
that's hilarious.
YouTube, we had a couple 10 comments. All right, let's see what we got here. Inez, heart emojis. My mom says, a very good and interesting conversation about mental health and the impact of the internet on society. Thank you, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Vesta says, very good. Ramsey PH Dunn says, 5 stars plus the hype button on my phone for this episode. I would definitely add Dr. Cassandra to my Spotify list.
Mm-hmm.
Be well, sis. This is from Cassandra herself under her podcast, channel. Thanks for having me. I had a ball chatting with y'all. We got to do lunch/dinner sometime soon. Smile emoji. All right, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Meline says, you have the greatest talent, responding to Cassandra. The ability to just listen. You didn't talk a lot in this podcast, but when you did, it was a soothing, effective presence. We could all learn from this, myself mainly. Why you read yourself? And Cassandra said, oh my God, what a beautiful compliment. Thank you. And then Maylene responded back, well, it's a very real observation. Enjoyed it. And you know what? She is right. Because I felt a little like, man, I hope we're not doing too much talking, because we were very, Karen, you just been killing it with the interviews lately. You've been really on your grind. You've been aggressive. You've been jumping in with your questions.
I've been trying to do much better.
Yeah, and I've always encouraged that, and I'm adjusting to it because I never know when it's going to happen in real time. So I always prepare like.
And sometimes I might ask a question that you might already have written down.
I don't care.
Or something. Okay.
I don't care. But I have to. The main thing is I have to adjust the rhythm. It's like double dutch. Sometimes you're doing double dutch and maybe that person's gonna jump in, maybe they don't, and I'm looking over to the side like, is she jumping in? But you've been jumping in lately, and it's gonna get better and better as we have more guests and you ask more questions. But part of it makes me think like, oh wait, now is the combination of me and Karen talking a lot making the guest not talk, or the guest feeling uncomfortable? But every time I felt that way, she would chime in with something. I'm like, oh, she's listening, she's taking it in,
yes,
she's contributing.
Yeah,
we're still having a conversation.
Said that when people talk, they kind of just soak stuff in, right?
Yeah. So I really did appreciate Cassandra as a guest. We'll definitely have to have her back when we can just do some fun pop culture and games and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, she was a great guest, and I like that she didn't mind that we had opinions and stuff. Like, it wasn't like an argument.
Mm-mm.
It was like, okay, I hear your perspective. What about this perspective? And because we're overthinking ass podcasts, and so she was fitting right in.
Yes.
Nunya Biz says, full disclosure, I didn't listen to the full Tabitha Brown message to entrepreneurs. After listening to the Blackout Tips, I read an article written on the Griot and watched the video clip shared at their site. Her spoken message was on point. However, she didn't recognize a large majority of people are simply financially ignorant. They don't know what they don't know. She would have served herself better had she spoken about gaining financial literacy rather than focusing on entrepreneurship and employment. I'm going to tell you something, Nanya Biz. I hear what you're saying. And I think a lot of this is a function of like us not having the audience of a Tabitha Brown. So like you're not a content creator who does what she does. But I promise you, if she would have said that, there would have been people that had a problem with that.
Yeah, like it wouldn't matter. I don't know what it is, but once you get to a certain level of stardom, like I don't know what it is, regardless of what you say, you're going to have a subsection that's going to be mad and angry no matter what.
What it is what I said. It's that the internet is for being angry.
Yes.
She puts her content on social media, no matter how nice she tries to be, no matter how nuanced, no matter how much context needs to be in there. Listen, I don't absorb all her content.
Mm-mm.
But let me just put it this way. As of yet, and maybe something will come out later and I'll just have missed it. As of yet, I have never seen a Tabitha Brown controversy that made me be like, yep, she fucked that one up.
Agreed.
And I know y'all thinking like, but what about the Target one? Even that one, we talked about it on the show.
Right.
every single thing she says, when I go to see it for myself,
When
I
I
always leave going, yeah, what she's saying is making sense. I just think trying to make sense on the internet is a losing proposition.
Yes, it is.
Everything that happens to her could happen to me and Karen. It ain't hard.
Right.
Any of you could take 30 seconds out of context, throw that shit on Twitter and be like, look what these motherfuckers said. Just take the middle of Karen being like doing the kind of angry yelling rant that she does. And there's going to be a response emotionally to, why is this woman yelling at me about voting for Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris is a war criminal or some shit. And you could take this show.
Kamala, yep.
It would, take it, or you put an extra context that wasn't addressed in the original clip, such as, 300,000 black women lost their jobs. Those two things, if you think about them, have zero overlap in a Venn diagram of what she was talking about.
Agreed.
Those two things are things that are happening that aren't things she didn't say become part of the pushback, right?
Yes.
Oh, so you just saying women need to just go get a job? Well, they can't get jobs. She didn't say that. That wasn't her comment.
Nope.
And so rather than take that conversation at face value and attack it on the same grounds of whether Tabitha Brown's a good or bad person, do I like her or don't like her? Do I want to defend her or not defend her? I just think the much better conversation is served by taking a step back and being like, why the fuck are people always mad at her when obviously that's not her content? There's people like Charlie Kirk. There's people like Candace Owens. There's people who honestly every day wake up hoping you get mad to help them go viral.
Right. And that's who you need to point your anger at. But instead,
I mean, I'm not even, no.
I mean,
I'm not saying they need to point their anger at them. I think that's why they blow up. That's how
yes.
They would like you to, I think they should starve them motherfuckers too. Like,
I see what you're saying.
I ain't never shared a Charlie Kirk clip in my life, and won't be starting.
I didn't know who that nigga was. I'm like, who?
Yeah, so there you go. So, but my point is, they rely on the anger. It makes sense when their shit blows up. Yeah, because
anger is a currency. Yes.
And look, maybe Tabitha Brown's much more cynical than I would believe.
Right.
And so there's always that possibility. She's
presented, yes.
Like, so maybe she's like, I'm gonna say this nice, but what I really want is everyone to get mad at me. But I don't believe that.
I don't either.
I could be being naive, but I just really think she just I don't get mad at a lot of her stuff because I know she truly seems to mean well, or at least not be actively trying to harm people.
Right.
And I really think there's this thing inside of me that is so forcefully like about staying grounded and true to who I am. I don't want to be led anywhere to anger. I don't like when people present to me a false picture or an angled picture and then go, I'm going to lead you down this road to an emotion that you weren't going to have unless I led you down here. I don't like that. I know some people like that. It feels like community to them. I think I'm smart enough to arrive to it on my own. Right. I don't need to be led to anger. I'll get there if it's I can always be angry later.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can always be angry later.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Why are you telling me like this person's the worst person? And also like there's another part of me that does get angry at being lied to.
Yes.
I hate when people present to me a half picture and then later I have to go because I don't trust you anymore. I'm like, that's not what really happened. Why would you make that up? And it's happened so many times, I've lost count. So yeah, anyway, income streams, regardless of origin, are a core necessity of financial literacy. Had she simply focused on improving financial literacy, she probably could have saved herself a lot of stress. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Regardless of what she said, somebody somewhere would have been highly upset.
I really wish that would work. I don't think it would. But also, agreed. To be fair on the other side, part of the reason is that what she does is a sort of by definition, like it's not, I'm not calling her these names. I'm saying there's no way to do advice on the internet without it coming off like this because we don't know each other.
Right.
So it is going to feel condescending to people.
Like you're talking at or down to people, right?
It doesn't matter that she's trying not to. It doesn't matter how she frames it. If she was sitting across the table from me as a friend, it wouldn't bother me. But but if she's sitting in a room of 100 people that paid to be there, it wouldn't bother them. But once that message goes out to the world, there's a group of people or a bunch of people out there that's like, who the fuck you think you talking to?
Yep.
I'm not saying that's right. I actually think that's kind of like, that's an internal thing we should work on.
Agreed.
I feel the same way about the whole thing with Serena Williams and the GLP-1s. Like, if she ain't talking to you, slide.
Like, okay.
Yeah. If you think she's not the person to be giving you advice, then move on.
Listen.
You don't have to.
Mm-mm.
Like the anger part is weird. You don't actually need to be mad. You can just be like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. You're a tennis player, not a doctor, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
Move on. That's it. But, anyway, thank you and Karen for hosting such an informative podcast while keeping truth and knowledge at the forefront. Y'all get 6 stars plus the hype button from me. Thank you, none of your biz.
Thank you.
And yeah, and like I said, I'm not even saying, I just think there's this trick that happens where, and especially like on the internet, narcissists in real life use this a lot. There's this idea of like, there was a way for you to navigate this, but you fucked it up. I promise you, the way we are on the internet, Tabitha Brown she could go all the way back to day one and stop talking about anything helpful other than, hey, my babies, how y'all doing? You gonna be okay?
We'll have a fit about that.
And I think we're at a point now where, as Karen said, she's crossed the gap into, they gonna find a way to be mad at that.
Right, because the thing I realized about social media, it has a cycle. Mm-hmm. You make a splash, you're new, so you're brand new, so you make a splash, and everybody fucking loves you. You're the best thing. So I'm gonna retweet. I'm going to share. You got to hear this thing. And as more and more people get, you get in more and more people's faces, eventually there's going to be this side to go, well, they ain't all that, from internal things or with jealousy, whatever. And then something happens, or you say something, or you have a quote unquote controversy, then all of a sudden these same people that was praising you will completely turn on you, tell you ain't shit, tell you ain't never been shit, tell you why they didn't support you, tell you why they kept quiet because everybody like you and they didn't want to be looked at as a hater. You go through, you kind of go through that phase, and it's a rebound, not that funny, where you kind of quote unquote come back. Some people never come back, quote unquote.
I think is the best thing about Tabitha Brown is that she doesn't really seem too obsessed with everyone loving her.
Nope.
Which I wouldn't have guessed from her inception. I would have thought, oh, she's going to be one of those people that is going to crash out when people start being quote unquote unfair, less than kind. And she's done a good job of like, I said what I said. She's not even like doubling down to fight people most of the time. It's just, I said what I said. Some people is going to reach. Some people is not. See you on the next video. And that's probably about as healthy a space as you can be as a creative, because almost every single person complaining is a person that just don't have the same audience. And if they did, they'd be crashing out at the way people talk to them.
Agree. Yeah, a lot of them are some of the most sensitive people. Some of the loudest critics are some of the most sensitive people.
Almost all the time.
And I've just kind of realized that. And so also the thing is, Tabitha Brown was older when she dropped in.
Yeah, that helps.
Which not trying funny. So she's lived a full ass life.
Right.
So when her thing, she was like, I will do this, but bitch, I got other shit to be doing.
Yeah, it helps to have a life first and then be like, this internet shit. Like, because especially the way she came in. Because it was during COVID. Things were going viral and popular that really would not have worked even 6 months before.
Right.
Like, no, like, needing a black lady to tell you some positivity and smile in your face, and that shit was not fitting to be. It would not have worked at any other time, but people did need that shit at the time.
Yes, they did, and they were looking for it. And for me, I'm like, okay. So for me, I think that's probably why it is what it is, like you say, because it's just something about just aging, and you've even said like some of the kids from Game of Thrones and things like that were talking to the kids from the Harry Potter new series, but like, stay your ass off the internet, because they've lived a life long enough to go, hey, this shit impacts you if you allow it to.
Jason says, yo, Cassandra was dope. She out here working. It's crazy y'all are in Charlotte. It's pretty new to this Tabitha Brown thing. I really only became aware during the Target issue. I definitely admire all that she's been able to accomplish. I believe she is learning on social media what I learned in real life a long time ago. There's nothing more overrated than giving advice, bruh. The risk / reward ain't worth it. The very best case scenario is that you get a thank you. Yeah, to be honest, I don't even like advising people in my life.
Mm-mm.
Like, like, if you really do want my advice, it's not that I'm unwilling to give it, but I'm okay with you just needing to go and learn shit on your own. Like, sometimes people will come to you for advice for real, and I will absolutely give it. Like, I'm not stingy with advice. But this idea of just, you got some problems, hey, we can talk about your problems without me being like, you know what you need to do. I'm okay.
Yeah, sometimes people, I've realized that sometimes people just want to be heard.
They just want to vent.
Yeah, they just want to be heard. And I know sometimes in situations where even when me talking to you, me just talking out loud will help me mentally map it out to by the time we end the conversation, I go, I got the answer.
And like unsolicited advice?
Oh, that's even worse.
I mean, that's essentially the unsolicited dick pic of life. There are people that want some dick pics. I'm sure they would like to look at some penises, but what people normally do not want is some just a penis popping up on their phone
that they were not
or their direct messages. That's how unsolicited advice is. And I know that at this point, the expectation is for Tabitha Brown to always be talking to her audience. I mean, that's kind of what influencers do. But yeah, once you blow up, it starts getting to a point where it's unsolicited because these aren't even your followers anymore. I would venture to guess a lot of the pushback comes from people that don't really fuck with her.
Agreed.
So it's like they weren't looking for it, and now it's on their timeline. Well, something to be mad about. And it's not, like I said, I'm not just saying this about Tabitha Brown. Some people are gonna write this off and dismiss what we're saying is like, you guys are just huge Tabitha Brown fans. It's not that. I feel this way about all of them.
I do too.
I feel this way about when we talk about Lizzo, when we talk about Summer Walker, when we talk about Cardi B, when we talk about like all these people that end up in these online situations where it's almost unfair to them. I feel this way about them that way. Like, it's not a just this person thing. Kev on stage, whenever people come for his neck, I always feel like, what the fuck's wrong with people?
Same.
It's like, lighten the fuck up, move on. It's never as bad as y'all think it is.
No, it's not.
And it's almost like when those people that do the people who now go to like Democrats offices and protest, part of the reason y'all do it is because you actually deep down think and know Tabitha Brown, Kev on stage, Lizzo, y'all know these are good people that actually care about being seen as good people.
Yes.
And you know that if they were truly the scum that y'all say they are, they would just say what the fuck they say and they would never even fucking give y'all the time of day.
Agreed.
Y'all know that. Y'all that's why y'all ain't really like, y'all not doing the same energy for, say, Candace Owens, who we expect to be terrible. You know, there's no point in torturing her. She enjoys the torture. So anyway, next time someone asks her for advice, she needs to borrow from our Republican brothers and sisters whenever a school is shot up. Thoughts and prayers, baby. Thoughts and prayers. Listen. Anyway, let's see the poll. Do you think social media has affected your mental health? 82% yes. 18% no. I wonder if it's just I'm not on it, or you know, I've curated, or denial. Like, I think
some of it can be denial.
Yeah,
yes.
I think I used to be in denial like that. I used to be one of these like, I can handle it people. You know, as I joke with Appy about these alerts on my phone, but I used to be like, I can handle it, but nah, it was affecting me too, and I just wasn't admitting it.
Right.
All right, let's go to another one of these beats, and we'll come back from break and finish the last episode.
This is crazy.
All right. The next episode is 3156 NFL PTO. 7 comments. Apia says, I realize that some people who have always been thin are mad at people who lose weight with the drugs now, as if they are afraid that when more people are thin, they are less special now. Oh, you said a word with that. I do, because the animosity isn't warranted.
No, it don't make sense.
Like, if you, like, it's not even like empathetic. Like,
if you're happy, why do you care?
Like, if anything, you think they would be mad at society for putting all this pressure on people to make people feel like they need to be thinner or something like that. And instead, it's like, wow, you dummies really gonna take this medicine? Like,
right, like now I have to fucking fight you in the market now.
Like, you
people
know,
want to fuck you too.
You know what? You know why they take the medicine. You know why.
Right.
The transparency is also that the company, not mine, we are not making them, has to record every side effect, even the super rare ones. Yeah, that is true. Like, that's the problem I had with the Jamila Jamil shit. I've now seen the commercial for Serena Williams ad. It's clearly an ad.
Yes, it is.
She's upfront and transparent about it being an ad.
Mm-hmm.
The ad has all the side effects. The ad tells you to contact your doctor. What are you exposing?
Right.
You're telling me what she told me and acting like it's insidious, like you figured it out. And I was thinking about this a little further, and I was like, you know what else has side effects and doesn't always work for people? And diet and exercise. The such and such diet, the other medicines. You know, no one writes in about blood pressure medicine and be like, hey, don't be taking your blood pressure medicine. Fuck what your doctor said.
Right.
Go ahead.
Don't be taking that high cholesterol medicine.
If you do that, we'll be like, okay, Dr. Sebi.
Right.
And also, I'm living in a world where that has been a possibility and I haven't done it yet. So should I just die of a heart attack while y'all quibble over stroke? Like, well, definitely don't do this to help at all. You know, it's like that weird thing that everyone's health is kind of their own business.
Mm-hmm.
Even as we're all public, like fat is the one public thing we all get to see.
Yes.
So like people, so like if my kidneys were fucked up, y'all wouldn't say shit because y'all wouldn't notice. But if I'm drinking myself to death or whatever, that's my business, I guess, because at least I look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm telling you like my kidneys are fucked up, my doctor told me my kidneys are fucked up, and one of the things is this GLP-1 or this type of what the fuck? What is business is it of yours? Shouldn't you just want me to still fucking exist
right
tomorrow? Whatever steps I'm taking to try to make that happen. And we also do this thing where we act like it exists in this bubble of like you're only doing one thing. Even in the ad I saw for Serena Williams thing, now that I saw it, it's this combined with diet, this combined with exercise. It can help you do this. Anyway, I just think that Jamila Jamil shit felt a lot like concern trolling.
Yes.
Like when people used to say the shit about Lizzo being fat, and it's just because I'm worried about her health. And it's like, but you're not though.
But you don't
like that she's a fat person in public who seems to be fine being fat.
Yep, and happy.
You think she should be miserable and should tone it down to make you feel comfortable. Somehow.
Right.
And you're just acting like it's about health. That's it. Jillian Michaels is their name.
Mm-hmm.
Jillian Michaels or whatever that fucking lady is from the
Biggest Loser.
Biggest Loser.
Mm-hmm.
That woman's not worried about Lizzo's health.
No.
That woman's not even worried about white people owning slaves. Anyway, Hello Rangoon says it's the same shitty energy around student loan forgiveness, crabs in a fucking bucket. Yeah. Because I always hear people say, do it the right way. I was like, what's the right way?
Right. What's the definition of that?
If I go
it varies
to
per person.
The paleo diet, if I go no carbs, if I go strength training, if I go whatever, is that your right way? What's the right way? Everybody got a right way. Just don't eat. I don't know. Drink water, sandwiches, bulimia. I don't know what the fuck right way is for everybody. It seemed to be a different definition for everybody. So yeah, maybe just stop being so fucking concerned with other people's body. Worry about yourself. No joke.
It's hard, Chad. By the time I tell people, I know for me, by the time I get up,
right,
go to work, take care of everything here, I'm tired. I just, Lifetime Funny, it's time to, do the podcast. I'm ready to go to bed.
Right.
So I don't got time to be thinking about you and your body.
Right.
That's your business.
Yeah. So it's just interesting. Bayina says, love y'all. Highlighting voter suppression and that you vote early is great, but it'd be dope if you share when voting deadlines are coming up. Links and notes, maybe. For instance, now in Florida, if you have mail-in voting status, you have to renew it yearly, and that deadline is fast approaching. I'm gonna tell you right now, Bayina, no.
Mm-mm.
It's extra work for me, and which I don't want to add extra work to what we're doing. We already work hard as fuck, and especially me with the show notes and all that shit too. But the other reason I don't want to do it is because we are showing you we are active, engaged voters through an example. Be like us.
Go to your local websites and municipalities.
Go. None of the shit we're doing is magic. We don't have access to any information you don't have access to.
Right.
We are if someone's listening to this show and they're like, I would have voted, but Rod and Karen didn't tell me the deadline in my state. Honest to God,
you wouldn't gonna vote.
No, Karen, I'm taking further. Okay, you don't want to co-sign this. You don't want to take it with with
okay.
me.
Okay.
This just me speaking.
I'll back out the conversation here.
I'm trying to save you from me.
Okay. I'm ejecting.
Fuck them. Cause you ninjas insult me and Karen's work that we do here. You insult yourself. You're saying fuck you. Not you, Baina. But these people, if they exist, who are like, I hear what Rod and Karen keep talking about with this voting and staying engaged and civically active and knowing your local deadlines and your politicians and your but they didn't put a link in the show notes. Man, fuck you. Then you didn't learn shit. You still letting this country burn because you can't be asked to look at a local paper, to Google some shit, to go to one of these ballot websites or something. Like, nigga, stop being that motherfucking lazy and find it out for yourself. Damn. Not you, but just that fictional person, if they exist. That's insane.
Right, because the thing is, you even gave information about your local district. That's because you are engaged and you are involved, and you want to keep other people's engaged and involved.
Go to ballotpedia.com. Google voting near me. Google when is my primary. These are easy fucking layups.
Yeah.
And I don't believe us putting a link in the show notes is going to add even one vote to anybody. You either gonna do that shit or you not gonna do it at this point.
Agreed.
And if not, I don't even know what you listening to us for.
Right? Why are you here, dog?
Like
every day we banging on bacon. Vote, bitch. Vote, bitch.
That would be insane to me.
Vote matters. That's us every day.
I'm offended on behalf of the people that probably don't even exist that need these notes right now. I don't even know who these people are.
Why are you listening?
I'm like, I'm trying to make them stop listening just for the fact that you brought up that they might exist. I don't even know if they exist, but if they do, you lazy motherfuckers, dude.
Right.
We are about to lose democracy. You out here like, well, they ain't put it in the show notes. Nigga, what? There's 50 states. You know how many municipalities there are within the states with other different rules? Come on, man. You got to do this. You got to get engaged.
Right. It's 100 different counties just in North Carolina alone.
Right. Oh, my God. Also, if Karen hasn't checked out the final Coral Island update, come out. It's a great break from all the nonsense in 2025.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Check out the Nerd Off. You might not be behind the paywall as a premium listener.
That's my jam.
But yeah, definitely, if you get a chance to be premium or listen to us, somewhere, whenever we put something from behind the paywall. We talk about this stuff all the time. And Karen, there's two things you ain't never got to worry about Karen being up on. One of them is Cozy Games, and the second one is Isekai. So
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Both of them, the way the world been going is my motherfucking jam. Cozy me away and send me to another world.
Tanya says, Tanya W42 says, I was not ready for Karen's vegan toilet cleaner rant. Laugh my ass out. Thanks for the huge laugh to start my day.
Because it didn't make no sense. I was like, the toilet ain't vegan? I don't understand.
That was very funny. Sean says, is it surprising that a man who raped his first wife supports domestic abuse? It's almost hard to believe that a second generation Nepo baby whose grandpappy made the family fortune on the backs of women, quite literally as he ran a whorehouse, treats women like property. I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked. Hello Rangoon says, so you two might know if I've mentioned it on Chew, but I've been on weekly Manjaro injections since March. About 10 years back, I got severely diabetic. Like, I went for a routine panel and they called me 2 hours later like, sir, are you okay? Your sugar is 600.
Woo!
I didn't know sugar can get 600.
What is the average? I just know that's the highest number.
I don't know. I didn't know.
Was it pure sugar cane?
I know, like, yeah, I don't know what it's supposed to be. I just know I didn't know it could get that high. That's like I'm sure it can though. I mean, but damn. Anyway, I was almost 300. I guess pounds. My youngest Calvin was about to be born. I got scared fuckless. Through lifestyle changes, I managed to get down to like 240, and I plateaued while my A1C kept bouncing around. Finally, my doctor said bullshit and gave me the Mounjaro. I'm 200 right now, so you lost 40 more pounds. My last A1C was 5.7. Okay, 5.7. I feel good, better. I am not rich. I got right, because that's the thing that Jamil did. It's a sleight of hand.
Right.
They do know that we have like a hatred for rich people. Serena Williams is a rich athlete,
right?
So they do the like regular people can't even get this, and if they do, they'll, and it's like, maybe that's true, maybe that's not. Check with your insurance provider. But obviously if you can't get it, then why are we even having a fight?
Agreed.
She didn't say pawn your baby to get Mounjaro or whatever thing she's on. Like, anyway, I've got regular rat fuck insurance through my wife's employment. You know me. I'm telling you the shit works. No one's paying me. Yeah, there you go. And once again, I'm not even saying you gotta, like, it's not about endorsing or not endorsing. I just think everybody go get with your doctor if you have a doctor you trust. If not, keep looking until you find a doctor you trust. And even if you're like, I don't want to do that, find you a doctor who's going to help you with not doing that.
If that's what you want.
It's like, take some agency in your own health on this shit, because it do matter, you know? So yeah, I think advocate for yourself. The same way I feel about like Serena Williams endorsing Nike is how I feel about this.
Yeah.
It's a product. I know it's a commercial. It's up to me to decide if I want to rock those Nikes or not, because Serena got them. But let's not act like everyone's fucking stupid. Like you just wake up and Nikes are on your feet and you like, how they get here? This is crazy. Wow.
And something that over the years I had to learn and kind of am still learning. I'm a talker. I talk. I got opinions. I got feelings. I tell people how I feel. The same feelings, and as adamant as you are about your own personal feelings, be that adamant when you're going to the doctor. But a lot of people, depend on how you're raised, you go to the doctor and you just kind of just float by. You don't really tell them what's wrong with you. You don't really ask proper questions and understand. Like, if I don't understand, we gonna get through this. I understand you rush, you got shit to do, but bitch, I'm not leaving here until I can explain to somebody or have a better understanding or lead me in the right direction, so that I can make better decisions for my personal health. And this is one reason why I'm very adamant about getting my mammogram, getting my pap smear, getting my annual, getting my eyes checked, getting my ears checked. And I know that's a lot, but I do that because shout out to Roger's mama, because one thing she was like, as you get older, your body changes and you don't know how your body's going to change. And so because of that, I was like, well, then I need to take better care of my health, because what I realized, particularly going to the eye doctor and the ear doctor, a lot of them say people don't come to us until they basically blind or something wrong, they can't see or they can't hear. But I try my best to go at least annually, annually every other year, because bitch, put like this, if something wrong and I get glaucoma or my eardrum busted, I'd rather we find out now and I can save it versus I'm fucking around and I've been playing around and now all of a sudden I lose everything. So for me, I'm very advocate about that, because like I said, I got opinions about everything else. I need to have that strong opinion about everything else, just like I do my health. And the thing is, you need to take personal responsibility for your health. And I think sometimes, people say they do, but in reality, they don't take as much as they should.
It's tough, and it's up to you, and no one's gonna save you more than you. And I'm not saying it's so easy. I'm saying it's
scary.
I'm saying it is difficult, which is why it's not about ad you saw on Instagram. We shouldn't even reduce it to that. That could just be Jamil hating on Serena. I don't know what that's about for real.
Right.
Is she, like I said, is she also posting this shit when Serena tells you to get some Nikes? Come on. What are we doing here?
Right. And I know, like I said, the biggest thing for me, it is scary, because that's fun. That's kind of a thing about being an adult that's actually really scary when you go, oh shit, I'm accountable. I'm responsible. I got to make these decisions. I got to educate myself. And it's a process. So, I'm very proud of you, baby. I'm glad you got your numbers down. I'm glad you still here. You know?
And you don't have to be transparent and tell us all that stuff. I appreciate the testimonial, but it really is your business. Because part of it is also blocking motherfuckers out. Because there's just somebody that thinks everybody's doing it the wrong way. I'll tell you a big one for me is once I got a nutritionist and a trainer. There's people online. This happens every time I post an exercise video or whatever. And y'all can see, you know, this is not no overnight shit for me. Like this is clearly like
you've been doing this for a while.
And I mean overnight meaning like you didn't just look up and go, wow, I lost 100 pounds. Like you see, I'm trying to do this shit, like stick to be disciplined. I have my ups and downs in life, but just my general, like, let me like focus and do this shit the right way, quote unquote. The right way is the right way for me.
Agreed.
Meaning I ain't never tried to advise none of y'all. Some of y'all write in and ask me that I don't know you. I don't know your doctor. I don't know your situation. I don't know your body. I don't know what trainer you would get. Sometimes you got to go through multiple trainers.
Yes.
Sometimes, you know, like it's a lot of shit, you know? So anyway, my point being, I've had people be like, no, you got to lift that this way. No. Try doing this instead. And every single time I either don't reply or I go, I'm only going to do what my trainer tells me to do. And the reason I'm only going to do what my trainer tells me to do is because you can't possibly know that my hip is hurt in a certain area. So she don't want me doing hinges this week. So she's taught me a different way to do a certain type of exercise that doesn't involve me further hurting my hip, which might put me out of commission or push back my ability to do other things. You don't know that, you know, the squat is a sumo squat this week. You know what I mean? You might not even know that move. Mm-hmm. I didn't know it. I'm learning it. You might not, you know, like, so it's a lot of stuff that none of us fucking knows. You don't know what my doctor told me, what my nutritionist said I need to do. None of us fucking know. So that would be a healthier place to be. Like, that's what worked for Serena. Maybe it'll work for you. Maybe it won't. Maybe you'll go ask your doctor about it. Maybe you'll think about it. Maybe you won't. And as far as stupid people or risky people or people that just don't give a fuck about any of that, none of us can save people that don't give a fuck.
Ain't that the truth?
The kind of person that's like, ooh, Serena Williams said it, I'm going to just do this, no questions asked, is not going, thank God Jamil made that post. I was going to do some stupid, like, it's just, it is what it is. Evie says, hearing you guys talk about the peach heat chicken at Publix made me so jealous. Southern grocery stores are so much better than the ones up north. Listen,
I agree. I'm not even gonna lie. And child.
Actually, you know what? That's not fair. Let's take it down a notch. I'm only thinking New York City.
Yes, I'm only going.
I just realized that that's not right, because there's other places up north that got good. Like not everything is the bodega.
True.
So let me take that back. That I was about to say some wild, reckless, wrong shit, and I'm literally only thinking of like the bodegas in New York didn't have these options because they don't have the space.
They don't have the space,
which
right?
is, you know, that's like a just living in New York City thing. Mm-hmm. So I was about to shit on them for no reason, but I know Wegmans got it up like that up north. I heard, you know, I think there's some Publix up north and shit.
I think so too.
Every time I go down south to visit family, I love going to grocery stores. That peach heat chicken sounds so delicious. It is. I actually warmed up a piece this morning. I was like, let me see if it's still hitting. It is. Still hitting. I'm so glad Megan Thee Stallion is holding these bums accountable. I don't follow Adam Ross, but I've seen clips of him saying derogatory stuff about Megan with black people sitting with him and giggling along. Yeah, that's the part of the podcast we don't talk about enough. We all talk about the athlete podcast that always had a one random white boy that probably owned a studio or some shit that did the LLC paperwork. And we be like, what the fuck? Why the fuck is he on the podcast? He don't play basketball or nothing. He just like Carmelo's homeboy or whatever. But we never talk about the opposite enough, which is the black and brown people surrounding these racist white guys who just be there like, yeah. They're like, oh, you got him. Ooh, he getting real flagrant today. Like, damn, you know, Kendrick was right. I think that pisses me off more. These coons that hang out with him and co-sign his bullshit and embolden him to say these things. Yeah, and it's that common privilege bridge of being a man and you're talking about black women. And I hate that shit. Like, once again, we gotta keep that same energy. We need to be vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be vigilant, man. If they talking about your sister, they talking about you.
They are.
And I understand there's intra conversations, but these are not intra conversations. These are white people entering our space to denigrate blackness. Whether they're talking and you're giving them the illusion that their opinions are valid or reasonable, or that they even should be talking about us as if they know. Like, the way that people like Andrew Schultz are just white dudes,
right?
Meaning, like, yeah, he might have dated a black woman, but his black culture experience is through the lens of a bunch of black people that benefit from being around him.
Right, that's different.
It's not the same.
Mm-mm.
It's not the same. And maybe it used to be different, but it's not like that now. Now everybody's like here hoping to make a buck off of the fact that they were in proximity to you. That ain't a real room.
Agreed.
Like, these dudes don't hold each other accountable. They can't really disagree. You know, the dudes that do get fed up just leave the show quietly.
Yeah, they do. You never see him again.
And now that he's being sued and try to play it off at first, but now the shit is getting real. He wants to play victim. Fuck this guy, academics, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All right, let's check the YouTube. Provocative as fuck says, hey, yo, shout out to the two of my favorite folk. What's happening? And fuck John Roberts. That guy, they give more me violent mood swings. He thinks racism is dead because he's white and a racist. Mofo being weak since Trump, the revolution will start with them. Dark Ninja says, good episode, thanks. I'm Awake says, the customer is always right in the matters of taste, said, I guess, Harry Selfridge is who came up with that. Well, Harry Selfridge can suck a big dick. He don't know what he's talking about. Miss Rose says, second guess the race. Back. Strong hand Latino. All right. Getting the racism in on our YouTube.
And they're like, I'm playing the game too.
Hopefully you don't get banned over that. They don't know about the game. None of your business says, it ain't a conspiracy theory, right? Hell yeah, that revised job reported straight BS lies from Donald's sorry ass. You are not tripping. Damien says, I can't say I disagree. To go back a whole year is a wild stretch. That's why
a whole fucking year. It don't make sense.
They depend on us to try to normalize their own shit, and then they go back and like, I get it because I want to be rational and live in reality, but like, the people at the top are capable of doing this shit now. Now the conspiracies are in play because these are conspiratorial people. I'm not with the like conspiracy for entertainment shit that people do. Like, what if Kamala poisoned Joe Biden? And you're like, why are you being stupid? Why are you injecting that as if we should have a conversation about something that we both think is stupid? Right. But like, now you put someone that's like anti-vax in charge of vaccines. Nigga, we talking conspiracies. No, I don't think all them people got fired because they were bad at their job. No.
Agreed.
Now I am in a place where, do I trust when the whoever the loyalist is that eventually gets the CDC spot, when they come out and say, guys, actually, vaccines are bad. What we need to do is all go get COVID. Do I get to go? I don't care that person works for the CDC. I don't trust them because now I'm in that place where that's a consideration, and it wasn't before.
No, it wasn't before, and it's very, very frustrating. Like I said, we didn't have to be here, and for me, they weren't perfect, but it used to really infuriate me when very logical, well-educated people would turn around me and look in my face. These doctorates, these people who like, actually, I do this for a living, would like be working with shit in real time. Like, science it varies. What I know today might change 3 days from now, might change next week. So when they consistently give you different information, there was some things that were the same, like, you know, but people try to act like the variations of them updating the public was just so madly swinging to the left and swinging to the right that it didn't make no sense. When truth be told, a lot of people just didn't want to keep up with it. Like you didn't want to keep up with it. So not trying funny, you just quote unquote said, well, I'm confused. I don't understand. I don't know what's happening. Fucking listen to what this person whose whole job it is to keep the populace alive is telling you. And y'all looked me in my face and told me the CDC is not trust. We can't trust them. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Now we are really in a situation where the CDC can't be trusted. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Where are you now?
Alicia says, y'all got me looking forward to the next lip smacking good. I pray I can secure one of those peach heat chickens. I'm gonna make some pho with it, and who knows what else. Damn, that do sound like it would be banging.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia says, the last guest the race had me dying in perpetrators' defense. Some kids are excellent escape artists. When my dog got out, I just be like, I can't catch his fast ass, and he know his way home. He'll come when he done exploring. Maybe that's what that one guy's logic was who took a nap.
They'll figure it out. They'll get tired and come home.
That's what you should be his lawyer. Keenan says, I don't know if you're going to talk about it tomorrow or not, but I was thinking about what you said. The right is really good at forming narratives since Wednesday night, I guess, talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And we did talk about it. Yeah, talking about Charlie Kirk. We probably won't talk about it much tomorrow. We have guests that are going to be promoting, like, you know, some stuff that I'm sure they don't want to have political takes on. They don't need Charlie Kirk takes getting a fucking charity canceled. So
right.
I'm sure we won't talk about it as much tomorrow. Jason says, whenever I witness an intense public phone call, the person on the other end is clearly winning the argument. I can't even hear what they're saying, but they must be making some points. Yeah, Trump has made it so we can't believe anything coming from the federal government, whether it's job data or CDC stuff. And that's going to last even after he's gone. He's politicized stuff that wasn't political, ever since the biggest liar in history questioned the legitimacy of President Obama. He has permanently ruined this country. The war on truth began. Beating someone up for telling people your dad is wild. Imagine that ass whooping he gets for buying his son's birthday present. Right. That dad don't never know what to do. Right.
Right.
Happy birthday, son. Ouch. Oh, I mean, a stranger I don't know. The poll, does it matter to you if your cleaning spray is vegan? Yes or no?
If long as it's clean, I wouldn't care if it was vegetarian. You cleaning, I'm good.
Well, Karen, you're in the majority. 89% do not care. But that means a good, like, about 11-12%, the Mike Kaplans of the world, they do care. So somebody, I guess that's who it's for. That 11% of our audience that's like, yes, let's go. So shout out to them. All right, let's do another one of these beats, and then we'll hop into some voicemails, because we do got a couple of voicemails.
Fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense. Fraudulent activity on a bank account is federal offense. Fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense.
What happened, Doc? Did you went from Pan American to panhandling? Preaching from the pulpit, the Doc got a plan. Stacking knowledge higher than the pyramid. Stand up on his chest, mind sharper than a dagger. Dropping heavy truth bombs, make the hater stagger. Got receipts longer than the Niles flow. Building schools, planting seeds where the minds grow. He the Prince of Pan Af, breaking mental chains. Blueprints for the culture running through his veins. Doc.
All right, 2 voicemails that I see here. Let's see. I think the first one's from Jada.
Right. That's no sound.
Oh, God damn it. I do this every week. Sorry, y'all. I always forget you guys can't hear it if it's in the fucking Chrome browser. Son of a bitch. Let's start over, guys. Jada left a message.
So now y'all can hear Jada.
Take it from the top. All right.
Y'all let us know. Thank you.
Hey, Ryan and Karen. This is Jada. I just wanted to comment about I think it's been a couple episodes now about private equity. I was listening to a podcast, I believe it was Wall Street Journal, where they just did an episode on a private equity firm that took over a hospital in Pennsylvania, and now the hospital is having to close.
That's what they do.
And it was like, they took over this hospital, and then they made it into a chain, I think, where different hospitals within this, like, across, like, this rural community was a chain, and then, they just, like, gutted the shit. And then now people in that community don't have any health care. They said that there is this nonprofit that their whole goal is supposed to be to provide emergency services. But now, because they don't even have so little healthcare that people are having to go to the emergency room for like things that normally would be, like you go to, the doctor's office, or like people are even having trouble like getting their prescriptions filled, and they can't get a doctor's visit until like a year out. So it's a whole shit show, and the private equity is blaming that. Oh, this only happened because the hospital was having trouble paying their bills because of COVID. But the hospitals are saying they had trouble with that before. Like they even had to sell the land the hospital was on, so now they're paying like an incredible amount of rent. And that's why the hospital is not having to file for bankruptcy. So I agree with all that. There should be more in place. I think even the governor came out and forget what the law is that he's trying to pass now about private equity type of hospitals, that certain things have to be in place in order for them to do that so that it won't affect people's healthcare access. So it is a shit show, guys. But all right, love the show. Bye.
Yes, and this is why voting matters and voting counts, because if you have people in office, you can make a mandate that, hey, these private equities, we need boundaries, we need checks and balances. Y'all just can't buy shit and gut it. Like that should be a thing. If you buy shit, you are not allowed to gut it.
There's going to have to be eventually some sort of federal intervention in this, because it's taking away necessities. And yes, it sucks because our healthcare system is privatized and it shouldn't be. But like, it's the way our democracy has always worked is that the government has provided guardrails for stuff like this.
Yes.
So that yes, we live in a capitalistic society, but it's not just a completely free hand libertarian capitalistic society. Some parts of it borrows from socialism and other things. And one of those things has typically been healthcare, where it's like, whoa, we're not letting a fucking hospital just go out of business because y'all want to bankrupt it and get the shares and the values and dip and resell the brand later or sell the land or whatever. And now all these people in this rural area have no health care. So yeah, you're right. But does it feel like that's a thing that can happen right now? Like on the federal level? No. Maybe your local level though. You said their governor's trying to do something.
Right.
So maybe locally people can shore up some things in their states.
And like y'all can't just buy hospitals.
But if you live in a red state, you can't feel like that's going to happen.
Ain't that the truth?
All right. Last voicemail.
Hey, Rod. Hey, Karen. This isn't Jay. Actually, the Impossible White Man, Jay.
Oh, okay.
This is feedback for the girl that called in, Lily, with a 6-minute message. And it's funny, Rod, before you even said that she should have her own podcast, I was immediately thinking, I wonder if this girl has a podcast, because I would listen to it. I at first was also afraid of the 6 minutes, but I enjoyed her. And I was like, oh no, the 6 minutes is up already? I was ready for more. I definitely tune into her podcast. She had a great cadence. I didn't hear any likes or and it flowed amazingly. I don't know what you do for work, Lily, but I hope it involves someone listening to your voice. Then Rod, with your suggestion of, you already got a podcast. You got about a good 5-minute podcast. Just throw it up every week, done, easy peasy. I agree. And then over time, if she wants to add new segments, she can, because that was a very creative segment. I think when she was like on the second Did We Forget, I was like, her memory is amazing. She remembers all of those backstories. I would not want to mess with her because her receipts got receipts. This is probably my second feedback in like my 10-ish years of listening, but here I am, and that's it. The Impossible White Man, Jay. Bye.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's funny because Jay will text me all the time stuff, like just randomly. Because once again, my brain, to protect itself, if I ain't heard from you in a while, just like, maybe she moved on with her life. Listen, it's an Impossible White Man life. She's skiing, she's jumping out of planes, she's fucking shooting elk or something. I don't know what she's doing. She's hiking in Africa, riding lions and shit. She always doing something crazy on Instagram. So like, I'm like, maybe she moved on, and then just randomly every so often I'll just get like a text from her. It's like, this thing, or this was funny, or what was this guest thinking, or did you hear this? And it's like, oh yeah, you still listen. So what my point is, I know it's only a second time feeding back, possibly, but we know you be listening just from the text and stuff. And yeah, I did mean that. That I did. Lily should start her own podcast. I actually just Googled while we were talking. There is not a podcast called Did We Forget. I'm looking to see if there's, and it's so many podcasts to have one where the name ain't taken already. Girl, you should get on that. Go ahead and start that show.
And child, your equipment was great too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, go start that show, man. I think it's a very interesting hook. And it's a thing where, if I'm being honest, I could do the Did We Forget. I have a very good memory of people getting in shit because just the nature of how we've had to do our show. Like I'm the one who finds the articles, and so I'm always remembering some shit. But honestly, I'm trying to not remember.
I just don't put it like this. My brain has a lot of shit I don't care about. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. That's the truth. But my brain has like a limited capacity. And if you tell me something and my brain don't think it's worth holding on to, you can tell me the same thing tomorrow. I'm gonna be like, whoo, because my brain just kicks it out. It just will. I don't know. I just be like, fuck it, don't care.
I have hypervigilance for sure, and so I remember shit that people did all the time. I just try my best not to constantly bring it up, and honestly, I try my best to do a compartmentalize it in my mind to where I'm like, I need to be able to exist in this world without constantly looking at everybody like the one time they were not consistent with their morals, the one time they forgot this thing, the one time they offended people. And at this point, because of social media, we have so many things that so many people have done, or so many stories and rumors. I can't possibly navigate a world where I'm like, I can never see a movie again, I can never listen to music again, because it is getting that bad. Because it don't even have to be major shit anymore. It's like this one person had a bad time when they were introduced to this guy at a party, and I'm like, I guess I can't watch the movie. What are we doing here? So I don't want to remember it. I honestly would like for a lot of people to forget anytime I've made some small faux pas.
Agreed.
Need a little grace. All right, next beat, and then we'll do some emails and wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
Beyond by Infrared Crypto. Ooh, that's a dope one. Says Miss Crisable. Rodrin, before I have a squirrel moment, I'm gonna say this. Lily from Brooklyn out here cheating, trying to be slick and send a voice note to override the 3-minute voicemail rule. Her segment was cute, but yes, she needs her own podcast. Stop this now before a precedent is set. Also, happy double anniversary to us, baby mama, daddy. Hugs and kisses, Miss Crispo. Oh, and recipes, Coco. Such a brilliant and kind queen. Thank you. I like that you and Jay both agree that she need to start her own podcast.
Right.
Just separately. Y'all didn't have a meeting. Y'all just came up and was like, yes. This one is just a little note from our girl Mary, who says, a little belated anniversary gift to you two. Happy anniversary, Rod and Karen. Love, Mary. And it's an Amazon gift card.
Oh, thank you,
which I immediately applied to my account. We'll try not to use it all on sex toys, guys, but I can't make any promises.
Can't make any promises.
You don't want to be involved in this relationship.
Have my eye on that jumbo lube.
Rhea says, feedback. Hey, Karen. Hey, Rob. This is Rhea. I'm the tipper who wrote in to ask you guys if you were wearing matching green shirts intentionally or is it a coincidence. I hope I didn't sound like a weirdo. No, it was cute, and it was it made itself. It lent itself to a great point that I wanted to make about being detail oriented on the show, and how, sometimes it's like the shit that some other fan is like, why are you even explaining this, is exactly the thing that another fan cares about.
Right. And why sometimes we're going to extra details or over explain things. Right.
I only know this because my husband and I sometimes show up coordinated unintentionally. I chalk it up to when you're with someone for so long. Sometimes you share a brain. Just kidding. The other thing I wanted to say is I noticed the green shirts because I'm trying to incorporate some color into my wardrobe where I mostly wear black, white, and gray. The people are saying green is the new eye color color. So that's
shit.
That's another reason that it caught my eye. I didn't know that. Girl, you know I don't know nothing about no fashion. The most I do is I'll try to wear a shirt with a logo or something on it that I think is funny.
That's the most. I don't know nothing about nobody's fashion.
As I write this, I'm trying to figure out the point for writing in. LOL, I guess it was just to make sure you knew I wasn't some kind of weirdo. As I've said many times before, you guys are my favorite podcast. I wish you all the best. Rhea, it never crossed my mind that you were being a weirdo. Honest to God.
Just paying attention to details, which we know some people do.
I thought it was cute and harmless. It really didn't mean I didn't even think about us wearing the same color. And the fact that you noticed is like a good reminder that people be noticing shit. That's it. I mean, listen. Of all the things people have noticed and written in about us, that's bottom 100.
It's at the bottom of the barrel, baby.
There's way worse shit where it's just like, come on, man.
Child, if they were all like that, life would be good.
Right. Wow. Says Stephanie. Hope y'all are doing great. I'm not sure if y'all gonna be taking off because of what happened and all, but I thought I'd send the email anyway. Taking off? What? One thing I noticed about this whole thing is this must be about Charlie Kirk. Ma'am, I don't know who you think we are, but if you thought I was gonna miss a day of work for Charlie Kirk, I might miss a day of work, but it won't be because, man, I can't believe what happened to Chuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm sure he wouldn't have took a day off if something happened to me.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know that man, and I wasn't a fan of his work, so. Yeah, it has nothing to do with me. And honestly, our show, we talk politics, but I don't consider our show to just be what's going on with politics. So, yeah, I would never take a day off because that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. And honestly, I'm not obligated to have to feel bad about it. I am. If they would just listen to me, nobody would have fucking guns and he'd be alive to say the bullshit he be saying.
Ain't that the truth?
So they refuse to accept that as a solution, so they gonna just be mad at black people, brown people, gay people, trans people, and everybody except the people that's pulling the trigger, these right-wing white people that apparently he's not right enough for, and now we need peace and togetherness and harmony, but they was ready to go to war a second ago. Man, this is Cracker Barrel.
Yes, that's
what this whole thing is to me. Cracker Barrel, a whole inside fight that has nothing to do with us, but we keep getting blamed for it. Right. Not a single black person was out here advocating for something that happened to that man.
I didn't know he existed.
None of us was starting a war with his clique of people, and I didn't know what a groiper was until yesterday, and I still barely know. I just know the word, and Karen will never remember.
No, I will not.
She loves to not know. So it ain't our business. So no, I don't feel guilty. I don't feel shaken. I didn't lose a wink of sleep. I'm not even in a sad, solemn mood of like, this is where our country is. The political violence been started a long time ago. When the people ran up on the Capitol, that was political violence. When they were shooting at the feds, that was political violence. When they burned down Josh Shapiro's house, that was also political violence. When they beat up Nancy Pelosi's husband and tried to kill him, that was political violence. When two Democratic lawmakers got one got assassinated along with her husband, and the other was attempted to be assassinated and put in the hospital, that was also political violence. So no, I'm not going to act like this is some tentpole inflection point moment, because they're not having a come to Jesus meeting, and that's what they need to be having.
All right.
There's nothing for me or us to do on our side, because there's nothing we did to cause this.
Agreed.
It wasn't violent political rhetoric from the left. It wasn't encouragement to violence. It wasn't a leftist person. It wasn't. None of this shit got nothing to do with me. I would also appreciate if they toned it down and weren't killing people. The fact that it was the shot was coming from inside the house is their issue to deal with in their house. So, but they too worried about sending the National Guard to cities that don't want them.
You didn't ask for them to be there.
Maybe y'all should have sent some security out there to Utah. I don't know. That was y'all boy. And for the record, Donald Trump don't really seem to care. They asked him about it. He started talking about the renovations to the White House. I'm not joking. You could look the clip up yourself.
Right.
It's not AI. These people are very transactional, and it's fucking crazy. And this is the country we live in. And the part that doesn't get said enough is, and I'm saying this because that's just a truth I've had to accept. When they didn't get the Sandy Hook legislation passed, because of Republicans, right? Because Democrats did push as hard as they could. Obama pushed as hard as he could. It wasn't, and we did get gun legislation since then. We got Joe Biden, the only person who's passed gun legislation since then. But when that shit didn't happen, when they said Obama was fake crime, when they said it wasn't, when that shit did not happen, I have to admit, in hindsight, I didn't realize it, but a piece of me died too.
Yes. I
did not realize it until I started thinking about this Charlie Kirk thing and why I wasn't shaken. I've had to learn to accept this is the country these people want to live in, and I don't get to have a say, apparently.
Apparently not.
Apparently they just feel like this is normal and it's the only country where it keeps happening. Apparently this is just what's okay to them. It's worth it, as he said himself, to have guns to them. I don't have a gun. It's worth it to them to have guns. This is the cost of the freedom of having a gun, is people dying. And so I don't have to have an argument for or against that, because I'm firmly on the side of it's not worth it. You'd be alive if you just listen to me and let me make the rules. So what the fuck I'm supposed to do, bro? Good luck, and no, I'm not gonna miss it. I'm not gonna take the show off or miss a show because of him. If we miss a show, it's just some other shit happened. It definitely had nothing to do with him. So I'm not. I don't even at this point even have emotional, like, I'm not angry about it. I'm not sad about it. I'm nothing about it. I'm numb to it. I think part of me died when I realized America had given up.
Yes, we did.
Not even to protect our own babies. We've just given up. This is the cost of some people needing to have guns.
Right. And the thing is, even though it had been happening prior to that, but that right there was a big start of a whole new generation going through school shooting drills and things like that, and terrorizing the children and impacting the children and frightening the children, because basically they're going, we can't keep you safe. We don't know how to keep you safe because of the laws we have here. So I guess you can go and get a bulletproof book bag, a bulletproof coat, bulletproof shoes. Like, now we got to make the doors bulletproof and the windows bulletproof and shit like this, versus fucking common sense laws.
Teachers guns.
Right. Versus common sense laws, because other countries have people that's mentally ill. Other countries have, criminals.
Political disagreement.
Right. They
have everything.
Yes, they do.
Video games.
The same shit we have.
Yes.
But for some reason, we're number one. Our numbers here are fucking ridiculous.
Yes. Oh, anyway. One thing I've noticed about this whole thing is nobody plays that man's videos on the news. Almost everyone, right, just a silent picture. Everyone in the company is posting about this for some reason. It is crazy that you don't, like, when MLK died, I know they were playing that I Have a Dream clip a million times, I bet. I wasn't even alive for that, but I bet you it was everywhere.
I bet you.
There's not a single clip they can show of him that isn't, that is why he was famous, that is also relevant in his death, that where they can still mourn him.
Agreed.
So they can't be like, here he is talking about how George Floyd had it coming. Here he is saying that this is just the cost of our freedom. Here he is saying empathy is just is bad. Here he is saying saying MLK was good has hurt the country. Here he is saying the Civil Rights Act actually hurt America. You can't play that and pretend he's just a Christian father who just died tragically and we should all mourn. They can't.
Don't play in my face.
He was a YouTuber. Nobody mentions the anti-blackness, all the other hateful stuff. Yeah, if anything, they get mad. I was on a podcast on Keith and the Girl last episode. You guys should check it out. I think it's called Charlie Jerk is the title. I didn't come up with the title. Keith did. Anyway, I was on this podcast, and so Keith, of course, posts to social media whenever he posts a new show, like we all do. And I saw some people in his comments that were mad. Now, Keith and the Girl, while I would consider it to be a progressive or at least on the right side of politics show, it's still a show hosted by a white dude. So you're gonna have people that are like, I'm gonna listen to this white dude because we both white, but we not the same type of white. But it's Gavin Newsom and Charlie Kirk, right? Charlie Kirk and Gavin Newsom have a understanding of we don't agree, but you know, we both white dudes, so like we can kind of still listen to each other, hear each other out. Whereas if one of them was black, saying, you know, if Gavin Newsom was Gavin Newsom, the black dude, Charlie Kirk's not even coming on the show.
Nope.
Right. So my point is, like, they might not agree, but there's like a gentleman's agreement of like, we both have a certain amount of like privilege. And I'm glad when people use their privilege in that way, because maybe it'll reach that person that's a listener, not the Charlie Kirk thing, but the like someone that listens to Charlie Kirk will listen to Keith and be like, oh, there's a whole other way to think about this. Okay. This guy seems pretty cool. He gets it. He's saying Joe Rogan's wrong for this bullshit. Okay. It might wake him up. Right. So I like that. But my point being, there were people in his mentions that were like, this episode, I can't believe you even would say, you don't know him. He wasn't racist. He wasn't sexist. This is just lies. And I'm like, that's how powerful the shit is. They can't even pretend that they can't even be honest about who he was. Right. They're mourning him and turning him into somebody he wasn't. Because they can't, who he was is not to be mourned to them. Who he is who they can pretend he is, now that they can share to the rest of us. But what they're really mourning is who he was. But they know to be ashamed in public of that. So they just show a silent picture, talk about him being Christian and a father. But they're not going to come out and be like, you know what, I really like the way that he said that, you know, black people's culture is the real problem. And that's why I support him. Chris Pratt ain't writing that.
No, he's not.
The thing that really gets me is just how many people do not mind racism. Oh, he was a man of God. What? Yeah, which God? This is coming from black people here and abroad. I do wonder how many of those black. That's that algorithm thing I told y'all about earlier. Because I'm not seeing a deluge of black people talking about this, but I bet you they exist. But in your algorithm, I would imagine it's hyper focused to show you over representation of those black people. Because how many can there be? 6?
Right.
Oh, I didn't agree with him at everything. So what did you agree with him? Shaking my fucking head. And the videos by his wife. What the hell was that? I'm not watching. Y'all be watching shit I would never watch. Why are y'all taking that into your brain? What could be gained from that? It's not healthy. I'm telling you right now, man. I know it's unsolicited advice, but I'm saying this because I really feel like it could help y'all. It could change. It could. Let me put it this way. Let me take back. It helped me. And I can only tell you, call me Serena Williams. And Jamila gonna just have to have a problem with this. She's gonna have to write a long post on Instagram. But honest to God, the following people like him and Candace Owens, his wife, sharing these clips, watching these clips, it has not done anything to help my life. And it is not like because I don't watch it, I think these people don't exist or I think it's not a problem. I still know it exists. I still think it's a problem. I don't need to be subjected to it. I don't need to put my face in the trash can to know that the chicken's spoiled. I knew it spoiled when it went in the trash.
Yes, sir.
I'm good. Put a lid on that bitch. It's going out Monday. You know what I'm saying? I feel like part of what is hurting our mental health is to absorb these things. Even if we think I can take it, it's fine. You're writing into us because it does bother you.
Yeah,
but think about how much of a different representation you are having than I am because I don't absorb it. So I'm like, it's black people that fuck with him? Fuck them too, and it can't be that many of them. Now look, maybe I walk out in the world and I'm surprised. I walk down the street, everybody in Charlotte got a Charlie Kirk shirt on, but I doubt that. I think most black people know not to fuck with them, and I don't even want to start being I don't even want to start knowing the black people that do.
Agreed.
And
I bet you it's a subsection like me going, who?
Yeah, of course. You love not knowing, but I'm just saying that's not your role on the show is different than mine.
It is. You have to know. Yes.
You have a privilege of not knowing. If we both shut up not knowing, the show would suck.
Really bad. Yes.
And the Trump talking about the ballroom when the reporter asked how he was feeling. What all those people making? Well, we'll get the liberals. This mean war videos even before we knew who it was. Just planning for a race war. How did black people get into this? They don't need us. Same way we got in the Cracker Barrel. And that mayor in Utah saying he was praying it wasn't one of them. I did see that clip. That was funny. That he wanted to be a foreigner or someone from another state. I always knew it was a white kid that was indoctrinated online. They was hoping it was a brown. Yeah,
that white ass state.
Being able to just be boss hog racist in public is probably like the fact that that's all the way back is wild.
Right.
Like this is like how far are we from segregation now? Segregation forever. We can't be that far.
We are not far.
I don't know what else because keep in mind it don't have to involve us, right? So like we could be one more white on white tragedy from some Republican being like segregation now, segregation forever. I'm like, black people didn't do this. Anyway, back to the lunch counters.
Right, going back to the back of the bus again.
I'm not saying anyone deserves to die that way, but he had no empathy at all for black people or anyone else. It just seems like I just hate and rage bait. Nobody wants to talk about these white kids getting radicalized online. Yeah, a Colorado school shooter, I think it was Colorado, happened the same day that this school shooting happened. And he was radicalized online, much like the other kid that shot Charlie Kirk. Like he was right wing. I don't know. They got a problem that they don't want to talk about culturally. They too busy talking about our culture and our problems and sending in the National Guard and all this shit. Put the National Guard in schools, apparently. Y'all must need that. But he says, I want to be optimistic. She says, I want to be optimistic about this country in the future, but my God, everyone is just so bigoted and hateful. Thank you for reading. Sorry to be a bummer. Steph, I don't know how to tell you this, and maybe you thought it was you're not being a bummer to me. And it's not that I don't care, but you can't bum me out. I knew all this shit and my mind is strong. I'm not like shout out to no joke. Thank God for therapy. Thank God for therapy. As a natural empath, this shit has been a God save because I don't have to absorb. Y'all can be going through it. That's not for my ministry.
Agreed.
I'm going to put this episode up today. I'm going to go to the gym, work on my fitness, fitting all this into a shirt. And then, do something with my wife, watch a movie, TV, come home, watch sports. Like, I don't know, man. We need to shrink a little bit. Like, especially with this internet shit, we got to shrink, I think, at least for me. Let me stop telling what y'all should do, because I know what y'all should do. But for me, it's been very helpful to not constantly be inundated with a deluge of negativity. I have friends that in the text groups, and they'll just text shit all day that's just rage bait or look what this guy said. And you know what I be thinking? Why are you friends with that guy? Delete that person. Stop looking at that shit. It's not good for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like smoking a cigarette that you think is going to solve cigarette smoke. Like, well, if I smoke this cigarette, I won't feel like I need to smoke a cigarette. It's a fucking cigarette. You're going to want another one. It's addictive. That's the internet for us. We're all scrolling through that shit. We got to stop absorbing it. I don't watch the fucking cable news. It's not my fault. Cable news decided to be content.
Yep. Cable news decided to be not news anymore. So, it's one of the things why am I hearing?
I still read long form novels and books. I think that's very important for me. I know a lot of y'all don't get it, but this shit is it's a great way to learn about shit without it just being content, being just somebody looking at a phone and saying what comes to their mind, or even listen to a podcast like ours where this isn't scripted. This isn't researched all the time. We don't have 12 different editors and shit that went through this with a fine tooth comb. We're just giving you our thoughts. It might be more thoughtful than most podcasts, but it's still a podcast. It has limits. Reading books, reading the whole article.
Yeah, the whole article.
When I decide to care about something, going to the source is helpful. It's why I don't end up being mad at Tabitha Brown. I don't mind going to the source. And once I go to the source, I'll be like, I see how you got there. I can tune the rest of the bullshit out. Getting rid of the need to be angry is so it's so helpful, because what the anger convinces you is that you're not sad, but the truth is you're just sad.
Yes.
And we're all sad because sad things are happening, and life sucks and it's hard, and we're losing things, and we're watching other people lose. So sadness is real and should be like thought about, should be considered. Like, I'm not telling you don't be sad, but being angry is kind of the avoidance of sad, or being angry is the thing that leads you back to sad. It's just a loop. And so I try not to participate in that if I can, sometimes y'all write us and it's more like a journal entry. Sometimes yours are like that. There's other people that do it too, these long form journal entries. And it's really more about your week than anything we talked about on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like we hadn't talked about Charlie Kirk yet. So you wrote in to be like, well, are y'all going to take a day off? Only way you think I'll take a day off is if you really don't know me. What that felt like is maybe you thought, man, this sucks. This is so bad. I wouldn't even want to talk about it. That's how you felt about it. And sometimes I'll feel like that about stuff, but I'm saying increasingly I don't. Increasingly I'm like, yeah, that don't have shit to do with me. You know, I wasn't rooting for the man to die. I wasn't encouraging death or violence. I don't even do that kind of shit. But motherfuckers are dying every day and we don't really seem to be doing shit about it anyway. This is just to me, macro, latest gun violence death. Another one that's happening right now. I don't know where, but it's happening. We leave the house, it be happening. We went to a Panda Fest yesterday, and I remember thinking to myself at one point, like, when we were standing in line, like, oh yeah, it's a lot of people who aren't white who are going to be at this event. I see they're scanning for guns and shit, but I just hope nothing happened to us.
Agreed.
That's crazy. That's a thought we have to have in America. I'm enjoying a cultural festival. I hope nothing happens. I hope ICE doesn't show up.
Right.
I had that thought yesterday. That's sad, but it's true. But you know what else? I still went and enjoyed my food, and we'll talk about that another time, guys. It was an ordeal. You say do not mix your drugs is what I'm saying, guys. Whew, my God, that's a whole story. Maybe lip smacking good behind the paywall. But anyway, we'll talk to you guys throughout the week. Tomorrow we have Karen's cousin and her husband are going to be on the show from A Given Heart Project.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about, you know, what they do there with their charity and their work, and try not to get them in too much trouble.
We won't.
You know, so Karen's like, not my cousin. But yeah, so we're gonna have a good time tomorrow, and so come on back. You hear? Until next time, I love you.
I love you too. Mwah.
Bye everybody. Have a good